Hey, what's going on? And welcome back to the Global Esports Tour, day 2 here. And the action continues from the newly built Boulevard in Riyadh City. Welcome. I am Logan Sama, joined by Rinj. What's going on, my man? You well?
Sorry about that. It looked like I was muted to the stream, but it's okay. We're good now. I fixed it. Sorry about that, everybody. But yeah, yesterday was a beautiful day of Street Fighter V, 100%. The action was phenomenal. We have some of the heaviest hitters from all corners in the world go at it. I mean, we saw how it played out, Logan. There was some, I think, maybe I don't know if I would call them upsets, right? Everything was so close, and kind of everybody that is here is such an elite competitor that's hard to call somebody getting a W an upset. But I definitely think the losers bracket looks a little unexpected.
I mean, you could say that there were some reminders, maybe, rather than upsets. Definitely, NL was one of those players yesterday that certainly gave us a reminder of his level of quality. Gamer B, as well, a player that often kind of gets overlooked for a bygone era of Street Fighter, perhaps, but still just as dangerous as ever. And of course, on the winner's side at the top, Mena and Punk are very much in the forefront of our thoughts at the moment. If you've been paying attention to this season's offline events that have been happening in North America, but this isn't just a North American event. We have got international representation from all around the world. Asia on one side, North America on the other side. But that's the winners bracket. If we can pull that up on stream, just to show the people at home. Perfect. You can see 14 players started the tournament, 2 buys. They went to Big Bird and Yami Matoy, but you can see that those buys didn't work in their favor because both of those players immediately sent to losers bracket. So Mena RD advancing past Lightning FGC and Big Bird in a huge result for him. He's going to go and face Punk in the first winners finals. Talu Breaker ended up facing Punk, who got past Amu from Pakistan, and it was Punk who outclassed the Saudi Arabian representative of last year's Global Esports Games in Singapore to take that second space in the first winners semi-final. Down in the lower half of the bracket, Sien and GamerB facing off immediately in the first round. A real tough draw for them, and it was GamerB who came out on top, pulling the Lucia out of his pocket, defeating Sien's Seth. Gamer B went on to beat Yami Matoy in short order to claim that first winner's semi-final spot in the lower half of the bracket. NL and Angry Bird faced off again after being at the Qatar FGC event last week, and it was NL that took the victory this time round. And sending Angry Bird down to the losers bracket. NL then managed to defeat Mr. Crimson, who had got past the 4 fills and his Akira pick, which looked pretty good, but couldn't get the job done in the end. A big drop from him, and Mr. Crimson was the one that faced NL. But NL showing his class, that Luke representing in winners semis. And we might be in a position where we have 3 Luke mains playing in these winners semi-finals. What patch are you talking about? What nerfs were these? The character is still very much flying high. They're the winners semi-finals, and we're going to see those at the end of today's plays. Day 2 of 3. Yes. We'll be culminating the event on Sunday. But now let's take a look at the losers bracket, Ringe, because this is where most of the action is happening today. We've already run those first 2 games, and we said goodbye, unfortunately, to Big Boy and the 4 fills.
Heartbreaking. Yeah, heartbreaking exit for 4 fills so early, right? Definitely just seeing the 4 fills versus Angry Bird in the first round of losers is a wild thing. But of course, that's what's going to happen at a 14-person invitational, right? With everybody being so good at the game. So 4 fills fell short on the Falk ride. Angry Bird just kind of rushed them down with the Rashid and went bonkers. As you mentioned, Angry Bird has really been channeling Big Bird for the past couple of years, or for the past year or so, playing the Rashid, playing the Ken, and he's going to have to face his brother in arms, Big Bird. The birds are going to go at it to see who actually advances in that loser side of the bracket. And yeah, this is the loser side as a reminder. So unfortunately, one of the birds will be exiting rather quickly here, especially because Big Bird, remember, he started the winners bracket with a bye. So he actually has only played 1 set so far, even in that second round of losers. Sheehan and Talubreaker as well is going to be a good one, of course. Sheehan just falling short to Gamer B as well. That was probably my favorite set of yesterday. Up 2-1, and unfortunately just kind of couldn't figure out in time how to take down Gamer B's adjustments. We'll see how Talubreaker bounces back from facing Punk, right? It's definitely going to be more elite competition on the table for Talu. And then Amu versus Yami Matoy. We're going to see who prevails there. And then to wrap it all up, it's Mr. Crimson and Lightning FGC. And we'll see if Lightning's Cammy can be explosive enough to take down Mr. Crimson's Dawson, if that's what we get on the table, of course, because Crimson does have a plethora of characters at his disposal.
Absolutely. It's nice to see so many of the Saudi Arabian players there representing. We've already lost Big Boy. Talubreaker, of course, the favorite in the region. But I was particularly impressed with Lightning FGC. He looked very dangerous, just didn't have that killer instinct to close out rounds after facing Mena RD. And I feel like, there's a lot of room for growth. And that kind of growth generally happens on these kind of big platforms. So looking forward to seeing him. You saw the fixtures that we can look forward to today. Let me pull up the running order because we know exactly what we're going to be seeing. And boy, I've just seen what game one is. How can we start the day on such a sad vibe? Brother versus brother. Bird versus bird. One is going to be eliminated from the bracket, ladies and gentlemen. These two go back and forth all the time in tournament. They play each other literally every single day. And it's a weird one, right? Because at the moment you've got Big Bird sitting on Luke, you've got Angry Bird looking at the Ken and the Rashid. Things have switched around, it seems like, where Big Bird's just gone top tier pick, Angry Bird using Big Bird's old characters. I'm not sure what's happening there. We might see him pull out a birdie, shades of Tokyo Game Show a couple of years ago out of nowhere. But it's definitely going to be an exciting one, right? We've seen matches. I think what was it? What was the match we saw yesterday? You looked up and they'd never played each other in competitive top 8 before.
Oh, I think it was Four Fills and who was it?
Four Fills and Angry Bird never played each other before. Well, let me tell you, if you were to pull up the head-to-head numbers for Angry Bird versus Big Bird, it would be a very long document. They obviously travel together to every major event. They're very, very consistently making top 8s. So they've played each other a lot. And that's not even including the behind closed doors training game. So that matchup is going to be on a next level even in itself. They're two world-class players, but they know each other like they know themselves. It's going to be, absolutely next level mind games, adaptation, bluffs, counter bluffs, conditioning, setups that are going to be pulled out of nowhere. Everything's going to come out because there's $50,000 on the line. There's no friends when that's the prize pool. There's, it's very serious game. There's no casuals happening when that sort of money's on the line, right?
Yeah, 100%. And as you've mentioned, it's really two players that are at the highest level, and there I don't think is two people that exist that know each other better as fighting game players, right? Like the amount these fellas play is astronomical, and it really is kind of the most you can possibly know somebody else in a fighting game. So it's going to be interesting to watch. Of course, that's usually filled with some unorthodox decisions. As you said, you got to kind of play against the grain a little bit because the player knows your strategies and your basic habits so well that you kind of have to throw it off a little bit to create some openings that you otherwise wouldn't get. In an official CPT capacity, this is only from Capcom Pro Tour events, Angry Bird holds a 60-40 win percentage over Big Bird. So still very close, even in the highest tournament setting you could possibly imagine.
Absolutely, man. Hopefully we can get into these games very soon. I'm not sure what the schedule is looking like for these guys. Do we have any of the players out yet? What's happening in the venue? I'd love to show the people the feed of the venue if that's there, because it's such a beautiful setup. Of course, it's being held at the Gamers 8 Festival, which is an 8-week-long festival of just all video games, esports, exhibitions, brand new games. There you can see, look, the host in the arena. I can see that Red Bull hat behind the stage. It's got to be my guy Adele. There's going to be some extra medium fitting NASA esports shirts coming from behind that stage very, very shortly to come and set up. But yeah, it's such an impressive venue. Obviously, a lot of money's been put into this. We've seen a lot of. Oh, here we go. We've got the player. We've got promo videos.
Ooh, I like it.
Flexing on them. Eee!
You called it. You called for the extra schmedium.
Amjad looking like a boss right there as well.
Oh, my Angry Bird is posing on him.
Angry Bird looks like
hasn't moved a muscle.
He looks like a henchman. Like
yeah. Just say the word and he's done.
He's walking out like a henchman as well. Yes, bro. These guys are both definitely not wasted their time during the lockdown period. They've been hitting the gym. They've also been hitting trainer mode. And leveling up their game as well. I'm looking forward to this one head-to-head. This is going to be crazy. Nasser Esports, of course, representing. They have a Saudi Arabian player in Latif, who is obviously going to go to Evo and sweep everybody and claim that victory, beating all of the Americans. Absolutely. I mean, does Latif semi-count as an American? How do you view that?
No, I mean, I don't particularly count him as an American for sure. I mean, I think America has a lot of love for Latif. I think there's a huge amount of fans out here for him. But no, I mean, he's the 100% like representing EMEA, and like that's their guy. Like, I'm not ever gonna try to take credit for that.
Absolutely, man. It's great to see the Middle East representing in fighting games. We're all strong across multiple titles. Of course, we spoke about Pakistan and their presence. Amu, unfortunately, eliminated from the tournament already, I think. No, wait, he managed to make it back. Yeah. He's still in there. He's still in there. But yes, it's a cool time where we're seeing these new emerging regions come through with really damn good players.
Amazing.
Damn good players, world-class players.
Like, yeah, exactly. Players that are at the upper echelon of gaming and competition that like just burst onto the scene, right? Like it's wild to see how much and how far they can develop their skill ceiling without playing some of the international competition, and then all of a sudden they get thrust into that setting and they're just putting bodies in bags, and all of a sudden you are learning that we have to adjust and kind of start taking what they're bringing to the table and either learning how to beat it, kind of implementing it into our own game. I mean, we kind of went over this yesterday, right? That's kind of what is the beautiful thing about international competition, is everybody kind of develops their own play style, their own ethos and ideals about the game, and then it's a battle between everybody else's kind of path of fighting games, and then you kind of converge them all, right? And it becomes an amalgamation of everything that we've learned, and that's kind of something that we've been blessed with in this day and age, being alive with this internet era and being able to share so much information across the globe. It's an awesome thing, and it's really led to a very high-speed boost in terms of development when it comes to skill and meta in competition.
Yeah, like that hive mind, someone can discover something on one side of the world, it's immediately there on the other. It looks like he's gone back to the Rashid pick, which is very interesting here. I'm gonna assume that the Rashid is Big Bird and the Ken's Angry Bird, but I could be wrong.
Yeah.
It's literally possible that it's either way. And I'm at the whims of these names being right as well. I hope they are. Nice punish there from Angry Bird with the Ken.
And we have been seeing a very clean Ken from Angry Bird, right? So yeah, I'm hoping that this is accurate.
Yeah, this looks very much like Angry Bird's Ken, poking away the max range low fireball into low forward into the fireball, encroaching into that space.
It's definitely looking
like
Big Bird's going to
carry on.
Yeah,
Big Bird's going to carry on using that crouch fierce and stand fierce just to make sure that he's dissuaded. I really like how Angry Bird challenges after certain situations with that crouching light punch. We saw him do it yesterday. It's like a buffer in a lot of instances, but just generally, he's really good at challenging with it.
I really loved his escape in the corner that time as well. Ooh, the low forward confirmed from Big Bird.
I can't believe Big Bird teched after that.
Yeah.
All right. Burns some of that. And again, he burns the whole V-trigger, which is very interesting.
I mean, he's
that was it.
But it's all
But it doesn't matter.
Yeah, the last throw comes through. I thought Angry Bird was going to be looking for that as well.
The mix-up. He thought he was going to confirm the low forward, but he actually counter-hit low forward into walk-up throw. Saved all the meter. It was a big brain play. Let's call it that, right?
Yeah. The long-term macro, right? You're thinking for the big game, not just one round.
Cross up, blocked into the back throw. Pushing back towards the corner. Yeah, you can react to that so late with the V skill.
That was beautiful from Big Bird right there. Oh, and again. He's really recognizing that Angry Bird is getting aggressive on defense. You can see even waking up with buttons right there. Escaping the corner at the very least with the Tatsu.
Yeah, he really uses that.
Oh, shuts down the V-trigger activation with the CA. But yeah, he really does love the fireball into the V-trigger run.
Yeah, like more than I've seen anyone else use that. And that corner pressure is really, really working for him. He's able to get an abundance of throws off. I'm very surprised to see. And it looks like Big Bird's taking the headset off for a moment. They're talking to each other. So we'll find out what's happening here.
Yeah, it looks like they're talking to some of the TOs at the moment. One thing I wanted to highlight while we have some downtime here is in that first round, we saw Angry Bird immediately, as soon as he was cornered by the Rashid, he just jumped forward right out of it, right? And it avoided the clean setup entirely. So it's just a testament to his knowledge on the character, obviously his knowledge about how Big Bird wants to approach his pressure in the corner as well, right? And it's something that we saw plague the four fills yesterday when Angry Bird was rocking the Rashid, right? We just talked about how menacing and overwhelming that corner pressure is, but this is like showing how much you can, or how different your answers can be when you know what's coming, right? And because he has played Rashid so much himself and has played Big Bird so much, he kind of knows when and where he can get away with those jump forwards and immediately turn the tide of the entire game off of it.
Yeah, it's completely timing based, right? If you get a read on the guy's tempo, on that kind of pressure, the beats of the pressure, you're going to able to escape, especially when using Ken as well, right? Because he's got the jump air EX Tatsu, which we see Angry Bird use a few times to escape. He tried to do it against NL, and it worked for him yesterday. Let's take a look around the venue. This is pretty incredible looking. You can see.
Bro, this is the first time I'm seeing this part of the
VIP
venue.
gaming booths.
Oh
so this venue is the newly built Boulevard in Riyadh City. It's part of the esports expansion. And of course, this whole event, this Global Esports Tour 2022 in Riyadh, is part of a larger Gamers 8 festival, which is an 8-week-long festival happening in Riyadh City. As the players seem to be just awaiting, I think, maybe some change. It looks like they might have audio queries as well. Removing the headsets, and they're talking to each other, playing the side-by-side game. Which side are we going to look? Round the monitors at each other.
Oh, look at this venue. This is ridiculous, to be honest. Got the big Tron vibes. I love neon and glowy things. It's very easy for me to like stuff like that.
Yeah.
With the purple tint,
soothing color palette. That purple stuff.
Mm-hmm. I mean, nice and relaxed.
All right,
and this is where they are. Damn.
We got the LED wall. We haven't got that.
I know. I want the LED wall. And you got a Spotify booth. Look at this. Back in the building.
Get your playlists up. Yeah, there's obviously a lot going on at this event. There's a lot going on in this set at the moment. We're waiting for them to get restarted. I don't think we've had any updates as to what the situation is. Let's have a look. Tech issues with screen delay. Apparently, the players have mentioned that there might be some kind of screen delay. So that is very, very important in this competitive environment. So we'll obviously wait for that to get resolved. Let's take a look at this losers bracket again, if we can, because we didn't really have a lot of time to go through it fully. So let's run it back real quick. Yes, as you correctly said, Amu is still in the event. He eliminated Big Boy. So we've still got representatives from every single country there, other than the UK. It's the UK that went out first. So I don't know what to say about that, to be honest with you.
Got other issues to worry about. You know, I just finished Top Boy yesterday. My goodness, what a show.
Oh, you just?
I just did it. What a show.
R.I.P. my guy, Jamie.
Bruh. I'm sorry for the spoilers for the people that are watching.
Bro, that thing come out a while ago still.
It did. That ending, I legitimately, my jaw was on the floor. I like stopped everything that I was doing. I was like,
yeah.
Man, what a character too. That was one of the best characters in TV history.
Yeah, man. Kano, my guy. Sully. We've just been told that that first match was actually, we had this yesterday actually, where the players were just testing the setup. So yeah, that was just to ensure that the setup is correct. So we will be resetting the scores from that game. We did have this yesterday, so it's not anything out of the ordinary. The players making sure that everything is optimally set up, because this is a big event, playing for a lot of money. So here is the set officially starting. We're back to 0-0. 0-0, as we say in my country. Nice counter hit conversion off the crouch jab. Already runs up. Oki off everything, of course. It's Ken Masters. Start swinging those fierces. Those heavy buttons.
He's been making them peas in this corner, I'll tell you what.
Absolutely.
Oh. Yeah, well, these players so clean with the footsies. You can tell how dangerous every whiff is. The
back throw is a very interesting choice there, because he had such a dominant position.
Yeah, it felt like one of those moments where you kind of like defensive tech, and he was just holding back during the throw.
He tech from a mile away there. Yeah, he gets opened up. Is it going to be the stun, next attack?
Oh
Light Tatsu out. That was very smart.
Yeah, so good. And then he goes for the chip. Not enough.
Oh,
slight miscalculation. He's going to live, though. Oh, my goodness. And then the punish. Too clean.
God bless heavy Dragon Punch. The God.
The God indeed right there. That was a wild start to this set, to be honest. I love the Tatsu escape again.
Calculation on that CA, and yeah, the light Tatsu to just get out of that mix-up. We saw how badly that he just bamboozled. How the four fills was bamboozled by Angry Birds.
Yeah.
Corner pressure with Rashid the other day. Of course, you know, when you can do it yourself, you know how to get out of it, right? So.
Exactly. That's what we talked about it, right? Picking up characters to really learn the nuances of them, and I mean that's something that Angry Bird has done tenfold.
Yeah.
When again, and then this time
of the harvest.
And you know, even despite that first game not counting towards the set, it did count towards that conditioning. I'll tell you what, and we saw
that was a speed run. Let me tell you.
Yeah.
I have to say as well, right, that as a Ken player, I hate giving up that V trigger to do the fireball run. Like, I hate it so much, because you only get two of them, and Ken's damage output is so much better in the corner when he's in V trigger, and to see Angry Bird get so much out of it, like he's basically using it almost immediately, just as a pressure situation, as we cut to the game and see a Dragon Punch instantly. I presume with another punish on a whirlwind.
Yeah, I imagine so. And again, I like the points that you're mentioning where it's only two instances of it, right? But he's making those two instances count for so much, and the fact that
bro, he's turning them into big damage, right?
Yeah, you get that corner with Ken and being so dangerous. Oh my goodness, he is looking incredibly clean right now.
Yeah.
Oh,
he's confirming everything. He's ready for every moment. And it's like there's no movement. I think, you know, Big Bird is looking to go 0-2 right now in this event if he doesn't change something very, very quickly.
Yeah, Angry Bird, it just has all the answers at the moment, but Big Bird finally getting an opening here. And just like that, he was respecting the EXDP. Ends up getting thrown for it. Oh, I don't know how Angry Bird is making all these correct defensive choices.
That interruption was clean as hell.
What in the world?
He's getting so much as well off of like crouching light punch on block, and then that's unfortunate. He doesn't get punished though. Off crouching light punch on block, and then just the mix up therein. Like, is it going to be a throw afterwards? Is it going to be a shimmy? Is it going to be a stagger step? Bruv, he's doing bits. He's ready for everything. No, Angry Bird is playing out of his mind. Out of his mind. This is the best Ken I've seen anywhere. This is the best Ken I've seen for like a year. Easily.
Bro, I'm in a little bit of shock, dude. Like, he is legitimately answered everything. Like, in the corner, Big Bird finally got like a wall cling sequence off and immediately EXDP'd. We see the V trigger activated, immediately EXDP'd. Like, the two EX whirlwinds he tried to space out perfectly. First one got interrupted by crouch medium kick. Second one got crushed countered by roundhouse. Like, what are you supposed to do if you're Big Bird? Like, I don't even know at this point. It looks very, very long.
It looks long for man. Exactly, brother. This is, and it looks like he's taken a moment. He's gone straight back into it though. He's committed.
Oh,
gets the counter hit crouch medium into the crouch fierce. The crazy corner carry, the stun.
dude.
Oh my word! It's another round just like the rest.
Angry Bird. I truly playing angry, I guess. He is not letting Big Bird do anything at the moment. As you mentioned, with $50,000 on the line, there was no love loss here. Oh my goodness.
He's making this crouching medium kick look like the Ryu crouching medium kick in SF6.
Yeah, exactly.
Like,
the jump
he's
scare
like
button.
he's outranging Rashid's like crouch fears with Ken crouch medium kick. Like the walk speed, the perfect spacing. It's incredible how he's doing it. Breaks out there with the EX. Always have to respect that.
Ooh. Finally, the tempo slows down a little bit here. Oh, but again, cannot do
he interrupts
these EXs.
every EX whirlwind shot, every one, and not with a jab. He's interrupting it with a 6-frame medium.
This is wild to see. Like, I've never seen someone play against Rashid so well.
As I say that, he doesn't interrupt the next two, but he's been very consistent with it. I have to say, like.
Side. Oh no! Finally, Angry Bird. Maybe trying to hold back a little bit on the confirm, but ended up grazing the button with the finger and ended up coming out.
It is possible to. I mean, I don't know if he did that as a buffer.
Yeah,
it's possible to hit confirm that on PC in optimal settings. The stand medium punch, definitely possible to confirm that on PC. And I don't actually know what they're playing on. Nice bait.
And again, yeah, the optimal counter hit punish with the fierce follow up after the crouch medium. All right, that's why I like to see Big Bird now staying clean with the pressure. Try to switch it up because his mediums have been working out a lot. Angry Bird
doesn't get the medium into the side switch, but he's going to get it now and off the EX Eagle Spike. One more touch. There's the stun. Not going to be able to close it out, but he's got a V trigger activation. But so does Angry Bird. Angry Bird could actually win it from this point off any touch. No, not now.
Yeah, with the V reversal. It recovers directly into the tornado, giving Big Bird the punish that he was looking for. Bouncing back. That was a scary start to the set. 2 games of just complete decimation. But Big Bird has found his footing a little bit, has been able to slow down the onslaught of Angry Bird. See if this can continue. Man's looking focused, trying to stay calm, cool, and collected. He knows he's got a ways to go, and especially with what Angry Bird has been bringing to the table. It's been ridiculous play. Big Bird, of course, a champion-level competitor in his own right. These round stars have been all Angry Bird, though, but just as I say that, Big Bird finds a big button of his own. Both of these players are loving their footsies, and right there, as soon as you get that crouch medium kick with a big punish, Big Bird starting to rock and roll.
And I like that he's starting to just do the raw EX rather than doing it off a cancel into a button. Nice, chases him down with that 6-frame V-trigger EX Tatsu. Here's the corner pressure as well. Just fishing for that low forward into a light Tatsu. And he's out of the corner now. There's the activation, has to respect it. Rather take the throw. Doesn't get the kill. Ooh. Oh my god! Oh! Listen, he's been getting mixed up by that crouching light punch on block follow-up every single time. He's finally had enough, and I like him making these hard reads. Forward medium just gets stuffed by low medium kick.
And there's such informed decisions are being made.
Again, punishing every time, man.
Every single time, and we get
There's the buffer that he was looking for.
Now locked in
from there. Puts him back into the corner with a mixer. Damn, I don't know what that crush countered, but he could have definitely got more than that. How ready was he for that? I didn't even know that worked.
Ooh, and then to get another big crush counter. Big Bird definitely starting to catch on to the rhythm of Angry Bird's button presses.
I like him using the Eagle Spike follow-up in that combo for the knockdown. But again, it's Angry Bird looking to close it out, eliminate his friend. Back throw into the corner from Ken, so strong. That pressure. Checks the dash. And it's Big Bird fighting his way out. Start using that crouch and light kick a lot more because the range on it and the speed, very good. Another bad buffer from Angry Bird. He's just missed space in that standing medium punch. Pretty sure he's not trying to hit confirm it.
Oh, beautiful interrupting.
Definitely can hit confirm that. And I'm not sure. That might be it. Big Bird's taking the headset off. It is it. It is going to be 3-1. And Angry Bird, man, with what a superlative performance. We did see adaptations and changes from Big Bird. He started changing up his tempo, started becoming much less predictable with those whirlwind shot cancels and the EX whirlwind shots. He started showing different buttons in the neutral after whiffing a lot of fierces and being interrupted a lot by crouching medium kick. He started showing that crouching light kick. He started showing a few more dashes as well. But in the end, man, Angry Bird's looking incredibly solid on defense, but he is looking really, really oppressive when it comes to that sort of incessant walk down, crouching medium kick, fireball, dash, Oki off of almost everything pressure. There was obviously a couple of mistakes with the standing medium punches that he threw out and cancelled into the dragon punches, got punished for that really heavily. But other than that, man, like it was as close to a flawless performance as you could imagine to see.
I tell you what, if there was issues with screen lag in that first game, they must have solved them because every single thing was hit confirmed so cleanly. Like, it was ridiculous. And honestly, those first two games of the set that counted, like, I have never seen someone play against Rashid so well. Like, you mentioned how good the Ken looked, right? Yeah, he looked super great as a Ken. Like, that looked like an elite level Ken. But just the knowledge of how to play against Rashid was out of this world. And it was impressive in so many instances, just with how he defended against the character, him willing to utilize the V-trigger run, like just making the most out of getting that corner carry and then playing those corner games that Ken is so good at. And really, I just loved watching the footsies between the two because they're both so good on the ground and they both know each other so well. You could see like the little minute decisions, the micro decisions made between each of them, right? Where like with that corner pressure with Ken pressuring him with crouch medium kick, sometimes when Big Bird would block the crouch medium kick, he would immediately respond with a stand medium kick, right? Because you said it's -2, so it's time to take your turn. But the stand medium kick doesn't lead much for Rashid, but it's a button that you can immediately press that will take up that range that Ken has to be forced to deal with, right? So after he pressed that, the next time around, he didn't press anything, right? He waited for Angry Bird to kind of walk back, and they both gauged each other and what they would do off of those situations. Another one is the crouch jab that he was getting mixed by, right? And then Big Bird kind of busted out towards the end, finally adjusting to that kind of ground game that he was being presented with. So I just love watching both of them play against each other. Again, those two, when they play against each other, you could write a dissertation on how they play.
We've got highlights.
Indeed, indeed.
The replay.
And this is a great set to have replays.
Take that throw from 7 million hours before he needed to. But yeah, that light tattoo escape out the corner was pretty sick. Look at that. A pixel of health left. So close. But in the end, didn't matter.
No, and then we saw the punishes so consistently on that whirlwind, whether it was on block or with the interrupt, right? That was like, right there was one of the few times that an EX after a normal actually worked. And Angry Bird, obviously, this is what the Ken does, right? We see the run forward right there. And that was after that warm-up match where he had just done a fireball into run into throw like 4 times, right? So that was a very smart way to do the run into the jab, caught Big Bird reaching, and then punished heavily. Again,
ready again. He knows. So you listen, like Big Bird has been playing Rashid for like 4 seasons straight. There is no way that Angry Bird is not going to know every single gap in every single activation and string and cancel. All of the holes that are there. We kind of saw that with NL taking on Mr. Crimson, where it was like he knew that matchup inside out. Well, let me tell you, the way that Angry Bird knows this Rashid matchup, I'd imagine it's a much, much more in-depth level. And we saw that here. He had answers for almost everything. It looked like he was going to clear him out 3-0. But here we're going to see the stun. He's not going to kill him here, but he does manage to close it out in the end. And scratch one game back, but it just wasn't enough. That medium kick again, as you said, occupying that space. V reversal doesn't work in that situation. Too fast, actually, and there's no knockdown, ironically. Ken's V reversal, too good in those situations. And then, of course, we saw Angry Bird fittingly close it out with a low forward confirm into the DP, into the super for the 3-1 victory. And Big Bird eliminated already today. We said it was going to be a real tough one. We said it was going to be a lot of big names exiting now. We're at the crunch. There's no filler. No. And we're going to have to make way for some, unfortunately, players that we would like to see some more of. We had that already with the Four Fills. We had to say goodbye to the Four Fills. But we're going to have to say goodbye to Big Bird as well now. Who else are we going to potentially see leave if there's any big heads-to-heads? Mr. Crimson Light and FGC. We're definitely going to be seeing some Middle Eastern players departing here. We had that Big Bird, Angry Bird head-to-head. We've got Yami Matoy and Amu in a Saudi Arabia, Pakistan match as well. Let's pull up this losers bracket and we can take a look at what else we have to look forward to in this second round of losers matches. If we can pull that up, that would be appreciated. Production, get that losers bracket up, and then we can talk you through that a little bit.
Yeah, before we get to that, just to highlight one more thing at the end of that last replay, like even when we saw Big Bird get some corner pressure again, right, Angry Bird, he did something that ended up clipping him, and then he like got out of the corner and air teched, right? So he was immediately ready to do an action.
Yeah.
Like he just really had so many answers. I think he had to block one time some corner pressure from Rashid, and then he just EXDP'd afterwards. So it was really just impressive on all fronts. But when it comes to the losers bracket, yeah, man, it looks like we're not going to get the actual graphic, but we got Xian and Talu Breaker, we got Yami Matoy and Amu, we got Lightning FGC and Mr. Crimson. That's going to round out our second round of losers bracket. So definitely some tough competition, man. It looks like what we're getting right now. It's going to be the, let me see.
It should be Xian coming up next.
That's Talu Breaker.
Yeah. Tyler Breaker looks like one of the youngest players in attendance, unless he's got a very young face, but he definitely looks very young. I don't know how old he is. We don't have that information. But I know he's one of the very best players in the region as well. He obviously already qualified and represented at the Global Esports Games in Singapore last year, the representative of Saudi Arabia there. And he looked pretty decent when we saw him play earlier on. He was only sent down there by, I think it was Punk, right? He lost Punk. He beat Big Boy in the first round in a all Saudi showdown. But he's going up against a former Evo champion, a multiple Premier winning player, one of the the real legends of modern Street Fighter across 4 and 5.
Yes, sir.
And I'm sure he will be just as relevant in Street Fighter 6 when we transition to that as well. Running that Seth, he's still got the Ibuki in the back pocket. Talu Breaker, we saw him use Vega, but I think he's got a Luke also.
Yeah, and I really do hope we see Xian as long as he has a desire to play fighting games, because he's somebody that I consider an innovator. A lot of the time he's on the forefront of characters. He does the lab work, the grind work that
a scientist, absolutely.
Yeah, it ends up being the foundation for what characters become, right? Like he actually lays the blueprint for a lot of the characters that he ends up playing. So definitely a huge help to the scene in a lot of ways. And then on the other side, we got Talu Breaker representing here, going to be trying to take down this legend. He's got a great Vega, and I think he could definitely do it. So we shall see.
Absolutely, man. I think, as you said, Xian's done so much for his community. He's brought so much exciting play across a number of different characters that he's innovated with. I mean, famously winning Evo with Gen, a character that kind of got reinvented 3 or 4 times throughout the life of Street Fighter 4. Very different to the Gen that we saw sort of early days with Jibbo, aka Automatic. Then making Ibuki, his own, I guess, alongside maybe Fujimura. Definitely doing a lot of work with that V-Trigger 2 anyway. And then Seth, that V-Trigger 2, he was riding out for that tandem maneuver when a lot of people were looking past it, and now it seems to be the favoured choice, and he's definitely one of the people that are responsible for that. He's a player that I would really like to see to like rise again. If you can get the character pairing correct for him, you know, the character that really suits him. I'm not sure if that's Seth just yet, and you know, his results over the last couple of years will kind of bear that out. That maybe the character is not the one that he's going to carry him to victory. But I've got every faith that he'll be back up there, and I would like to see him back up there again. You know.
Big same, absolutely. Like you say, he's a very entertaining player. Got good showmanship to him as well. He's a great person. Like, he's always fun to talk to. So definitely someone that I always would like to tout as at the top of the scene. But as you mentioned, Seth, I mean, that V-Trigger 2 definitely scratches the itch of a Xian style character. But I feel like the rest of the character, not as much. But right now we find ourselves in the corner. Nice jump out. He's not going to let him do it for free. However, Tyler will take that and escape, and now he gets a chance himself. Xian, I think, just got caught deer in the headlights right there. Not sure what to do about that. Oh, he tried to sneak in the overhead, but he got crush countered for it. Uh-oh,
the activation in the corner. He's going to take this 50-50. What's it going to be?
Oh,
in front. Oh, and he challenges with the light kick. That was really good patience from Talobreaker on defense. Didn't really crumble, and that's a really horrible situation to be in with Seth, because he gets legit 50-50s with the cross-up and the axe kick if you're blocking that. So,
ooh, and then, yeah, using the light button again, maybe exploiting Xian's attempts here to try to take his turn early. No cross-up right there. Talobreaker.
Oh, Talobreaker.
He's hitting Xian with a
the
couple
local
of the
power-up,
Xians,
bro.
Like, he's hitting with a couple of fake cross-ups, harkening back to the Xian and Buki stuff. Oh, yeah, I was going to say hit high so you get the double hecatoncheries.
You know, all the names of the moves here.
I don't know why I know that one specifically, to be honest.
I remember, do you know what's joke? Do you know why it tricked me there? Because I did the same thing. I made the point of trying to learn the name of Seth's moves when he got announced. Yeah. And I was just like, I put so much effort into being able to pronounce hecatoncheries correctly that it's just stuck in my brain. Yeah, and I know you did the same thing. You're like, how the hell do I say this?
Yeah.
Oh, okay, yeah, like that. Like, we've practiced it enough that it's just stuck.
Yeah, that's the only one I remember.
I can't tell you what his fake overhead that hits low is called. I can't tell you what his spin kick's called, but let me tell you, the JoJo's punches, I know that's hecatoncheries anytime I see it.
Yeah, good stuff from Talobreaker, closing out that first game.
Yeah, he's just poking away that Buster Claw, keeping him out of distance.
Ooh.
Sen not wanting anything to do with that EX wall dive. All right, what's the mix-up this time?
Oh,
yeah,
explosion,
he just jumps over. That's the 50-50. The mask is off. There's the punish. Makes the most of it, spends the bar and gets the corner, which is a great situation for him. Plus frames, jumps out though.
Yeah, he catches Xian as soon as he lands. Talobreaker has just been
so
bar,
clean. So he has to take the slide. Oh my god, wake up short.
Yeah.
Combo. Oh, he got reset.
Yeah, I was going to say, that was double counter hit. So he was trying to press buttons in between the strikes.
I'm not sure if he tried to tech what happened, but he did so well on defense and then just got opened at the end. Bad spacing on the V skill, gets clipped by the crouching medium kick, and he's in the corner. Double standing light kicks, +2 off of the heavy spin kick. He's eating everything. He can't find his way out now, but he does finally with the counter hit interruption with the light kick. Gets the side switch as well, and he's got the corner activation. And again, Xian finds his way out of the corner with the hold up forward tech.
Finally
working so well for a lot of these players, right?
Yeah, it's something that you got to add to your arsenal on defense, right? Oh, no view reversal here, so he's going to have to hold this. Oh, fake cross up.
Bruv, it's nonsense. And he's dead.
Yeah.
Thank you very much for playing. Talobreaker leaning back in his chair, feeling that one, and it's going to be one apiece.
The classic. I had no chance of surviving that mix reel back. Good stuff from Xian right there. Yeah, we talked about the dangerous options you have from that, right? And Vega, I think his view reversal in the corner already maybe has some issue dealing with this because it's a flip back and you don't really go anywhere in the corner. That was mid-screen. So maybe if he had the meter, he could have got out of that, but he was broke as a joke. Now, both players showing a lot of respect to each other's ground game, though. We always talk about how good Vega's walk speed is. Obviously, a lot of range with that claw. And Xian, yeah, that's what you got to do to take advantage of those characters that have long range like that. Pepper in the V skill. Ooh, even the follow-up with the flip. I didn't know that's what he got. He puts it right back on him and then opens him up with the low again. Xian is perfect stuff with that V trigger too. Oh, catches the jump.
Starting to subside now.
More mass, yeah. Using the V trigger.
Gets the hell out of there. Why did he try and press after that?
Yeah, it was a bit of an ambitious press after the EX roll -2, right? So
yeah,
didn't have anything to threaten with, right? A lot of the time when you see people press after the -2 situations is because they have an invincible move they could bust out with, but Vega doesn't have that luxury, so it's kind of
even
ambitious.
if it's like a spacing thing where you're -2 at certain ranges, but
yeah,
I'm not sure why he did it there.
Ooh, beautiful buffer from Xian right there. Max range on that crouch medium punch. Ooh, the V reversal punish on the kicks. Extremely clean right there. That's some of the Vega players you got to have in your pocket, right? Those weird V reversal punishes because you have the flip back. You're trying to harass with some of those longer range options that he finds the crouch sweep.
And he cashes out with a CA. It's going to be 2-1.
Yes, sir. Xian cleaning it up. And it's all on the back of him kind of being able to fight Vega in that range where Vega is so good at, like being able to use that V skill, just harass with the stay medium kick, even though it's not going to lead to much. Allowed him to have that breathing room to walk forward and get into that space for that primary V trigger activation button, that crouch heavy kick. So right now, Xian rocking and rolling. We've seen effective V trigger 2 usage, really being able to contest Talon Breaker on the ground. Now it's on Talon Breaker's kind of on his onus to adjust and make some game plan changes on the ground and try to get some hits more frequently. We did see Xian in this exact spot in winner's bracket, right? 2-1 up on GamerB, and then GamerB was able to rally back. Talon Breaker needs a similar performance.
Gets clipped. That's slow as hell.
Oh. Gives you just enough time to really think about what's about to happen.
Yeah. Just think about what you did as the truck drives at you, staring in the headlights. All right, we've got EX command grab. We've got a side switch as well, so he gets the corner back.
Yeah, Talon Breaker, you can see, ooh, dancing in and out, trying not to
goes back to the old faithful.
You know it. Again, though, trying
to hit by the second one, and he's dead. There's damage to spare. Set point here now for Xian. Talon Breaker started out so well, and it's gone so wrong in the last couple of games.
Oh, yeah, he just looks a little bit shaken by Xian getting these big hits. He doesn't really know what to do about it.
Yeah, he's kind of like a little half step slower now on the interrupts, missing a couple of whiff punishes. Certainly not as confident in neutral by any means. He's whiffing a lot of stuff, and Xian is happily taking that low forward punish into corner carry. I like this Buster Claw medium punch situation here that he's engineering for himself. Now he's going to get some... Oh, bro, he threw the start up of the button, the extended hitbox.
He definitely had the right idea, and Xian even went for it. But...
Oh, nice! That worked out. Oh, that didn't though.
Ooh, it was great patience from
in
Xian.
The corner. Spending a lot of resources for no gain, but Xian catches life. Damn, that a very scrappy ending to that last game. Xian whiffing the DP, not able to get a punish, but I think in the end, Talon Breaker was kind of scrambling for ideas. He was being really, really proactive with slides, started to take to the skies a lot more as well. Really just trying to push, even in instances where maybe the tempo or the situation didn't really dictate that it was his time to push. And in the end, like, Xian kept waiting and being given these opportunities. I mean, he should have really closed him out with the anti-air roundhouse into the DP super. He whiffed the DP, but in the end, it didn't matter. He still closed out the game. And realistically, after that strong start from Talon, it was all Xian all the way through those last 3 games.
Yeah, and that's, I mean, shows the caliber of player that Cien is, right? Is that if you give him a game of intel, sometimes that's all he's going to need. He really was able to adjust his game plan super effectively and just play better on the ground. We saw a lot more V skill usage, and it really putting Talu Breaker in positions where once that V Trigger 2 came out, he didn't really have many answers. Either he didn't have V reversal to kind of get out of the situation at all, or he was in the corner where it wasn't really going to do much anyway. So I really like just the resource management from Shien. That's kind of what you come to expect from someone so experienced.
Yeah, yeah, and he really used that V trigger well as well, right? Let's take a look at some of these replays. This is going to be the first game, and it really did look very, very solid for Talubreak. He was hitting him with almost everything, very ambiguous, wasn't able to react to it, gets a stun here with a huge, huge life lead. Going to get the corner to corner, now poking away with the stance cancel changes. Anti-air, he's ready for everything. The anti-air light kick on the corner jump, interruptions, the full combination conversion off of that, and his defense was very much on point as well.
Yeah, and a big credit to Cien's defense because Tyler Breaker, in that first game, he hit him with a lot of frame traps, like a lot of things that were like stance changes that were real. Like he would just go with the 3-framer afterwards or the 4-frame, whatever it is. And it kind of just catch Cien trying to interrupt. And after that first game, Cien immediately adjusted his game plan, right? He knew exactly when and where he could impress. He had decided to just not put himself in those situations in the first place. Like a lot of the time, his decision making kind of just started going towards avoiding being in that range where he would have to guess or where Vega would have to easily opportunity to kind of try to find that pressure that he wants to start. He just didn't put himself there.
Yeah, man. Yeah, it was a good set. I mean, Tyler Breaker's made a good account of himself over these last 2 days. He looked solid. He looks like a good player, but he's gone up against 2 of the best players in modern history in Street Fighter in Punk and Cien, and kind of that gulf in ability and experience, I think, really, really showed out. And it's great that events like this are happening and these guys can get that experience because you played a good level in a number of very difficult games. How being exposed to different play styles and like high level players and just feeling their power gives you a new appreciation and understanding for these games, right?
Yeah, and I honestly think a lot of the time you end up being a better player, right? Even with the losses, you just kind of experience that type of caliber of play, and you're like, okay, now I'm starting to understand where I want to be, where I aim to be, and it's just a little bit more comprehensible when you experience it yourself up against somebody the caliber of Punk and Cien. So I definitely only expect Talu Breaker, especially because, as you said, he looks like one of the youngest players we have here, to only continue his rise in fighting games.
Absolutely. I hope all of these guys get more opportunity. Obviously, there's a lot of development going on into esports in Saudi Arabia at the moment, and I hope that we see these guys get the opportunity to travel and compete outside. Obviously, international travel is not the easiest thing in the world at the moment. They seem to have solved that here by bringing the players to them.
Yeah,
that's great. But hopefully we can see even more and these guys get to compete further. Let's take a look at our next match up, and I believe this is going to be a local battle.
Yes.
With Yami Matoya against Amu PS4. Amu PS4 looked pretty strong yesterday. Didn't really get to see a lot of Yami Matoya. Has bounced between a few characters. Opened up with that Manat, right? I think it was.
Yeah, exactly.
Switched to a Poison, then back to Manat again. There was a couple of glaring holes in that Manat play that we saw, but hopefully we'll be able to, really make more of it today. But Amu is an experienced player. He has traveled before. He has played, across Asia, and you can see that he certainly looks a bit older than guys like Talu Breaker as well. So he's probably been playing fighting games for a while. He looked like it when we saw him playing. And he's a smart man as well because he seems to have gone from Urien to Luke. Yeah. So he knows the meta game. He knows what he's here for, and that is to get dubs. We'll see where he gets a dub against Yami Matoy. Are we going to see the 2 players that got buys in the first round both go 0-2?
Yeah, right. That is definitely what could be on the horizon here. We saw Big Bird, who got that first round bye yesterday, fall to Angry Bird in our very first set of the day, and Yami Toy in that same dangerous position here, especially going up against Amu, as you said, one of our more experienced competitors from the Middle East when it comes to international
Yeah.
competition. And he don't lose at the character select, right? If he's not feeling the Urian, he's going straight to the Luke. It looks solid as well. He has a
Hmm.
solid like foundation when it comes to fighting games, and Luke really just enhances that, right? That's something that's super good about the character. His toolkit when it comes to just fireball, DP, grounded, whiff punish type game is immaculate. And so if you're just looking to play that type of Street Fighter, then that's the character for you.
I think that his Luke looked very competent against Punk when I watched him play.
Yeah.
Looked very competent against Punk, and he's very much a competent player at this level of competition that we're playing at. Another guy that I hope to see get opportunities to travel more. We've spoken about the impact that Pakistan has had in the Tekken scene. The impact that Pakistan has in King of Fighters as well. I mean,
Hmm.
Arslan Ash is going and swinging with some of the world's best in King of Fighters. Um, I would love to see more Pakistan representation in Street Fighter 5 as well. They've got such passionate fighting game communities out there. So let's see what we've got now. I see Seth on the big screen.
Yeah, it's
This is
looking like it.
interesting. This is a surprise for me. So let's see what's happening now. Show me the game. What's going on with this? No one wants to see us. Yes, that's what we want to see. What a cool stage this is.
It is. I love the Riyadh. What is it called again? You said the Boulevard, right? At
A
Riyadh.
boulevard, yeah.
Boulevard, yes.
So we've
Definitely
got Seth.
sick venue.
I like Seth against Monat as well. That tandem's really, really solid.
Okay, yeah, it's very interesting. He's got the V-Skill one as well. It's again what you're gonna need to deal with that range of Monat he was looking for there. I love the walk back afterwards.
Yeah. And again, that's like that spacing. We're talking about that -2, the spacing situation where you don't really have to worry about getting thrown.
Yeah,
Just walk out. Just walk out and see what they do.
beautiful. Whether it was a buffer or confirm right there, he's gonna need stuff like that. That crouch medium kick gotta go into spin kick consistently. I like that the back throw as well, trying to cut off that screen, nullify this range.
All right, let's see
advantage.
what mix-ups we got in the corner. We got real ones, and he should be able to cancel into the CA. He does.
All right, Amo, we were talking about the Luke, we were talking about the Urian, but right now bringing out the Seth. And this is what you need in a matchup-based game like this, right? Where you're going to have to go up against all these players that are high level at these different characters. If you got some aces up your sleeve in certain matchups, it's going to be a big dub for you.
I mean, I'm not going to lie. I think Luke might have, at worst, 3 even matchups in the game. But I definitely like Seth into Manut.
Beautiful DP right there.
And it's all about your comfort. Do you know what I mean? Like if you have a character that beats like someone 6'4" and a character that beats someone like 5.5, perhaps, if you're more comfortable in the 5.5 matchup, then you should definitely pick that.
Yeah.
Even if you're more comfortable in the 5.5 matchup, like it's about how you execute that game plan, right? So, like 6'4" is not an auto win. If you don't feel comfortable in it, then go for what you feel comfortable in. As we watch Yami Matoye, just putting some work in the neutral, spending that resource to get the damage. He needs one more touch, gets it with the jab.
Yeah, no, we talk about mental stack a lot, right? And in the context of kind of what your opponent presents to you and having to deal with all their options. But it works a different way if you're not playing a character that you're completely comfortable with, right? Because then you're consciously thinking of a lot of things you have to do and the responses that you have to do that you're not like just having as second nature like you would on a character that you know in and out. Ooh, tried the challenge right there, but my man took to the skies. Quick little drill. Interrupt on the heavy Hekatonkeries. Put that away. Yami Matoy responding after that first round. Looking so clean. Amu obviously fully loaded here. He's going to want to activate. Oh, it hits the overhead. This is a nice chunk of damage here. Even spins an EX bar on the way to doing so. Oh, Yami Matoy sticking his hand in the blender, but we immediately got a V-trigger activation afterwards and juggles off the orb. Ah, yeah, tough situation to find yourself in right there. Combos off the orb cleanly with the drill pressure. Good stuff from Yami Matoy right there on the Manat. That's a nice watch. And Yamamoto, he got kind of ran over in that first round, right? Definitely was looking to get his bearings, but sometimes that's all you need. You got to weather the storm in the first round. Second round starts a little bit more in your favor. You can kind of establish the pace and the tempo that you're looking to establish, and because of that, he was able to slow the game down, not let Amu Seth just kind of run all over him and overwhelm him with the V-trigger offense, making him guess between axe kick, kind of playing that V-skill, crouch medium kick range. He was really able to nullify a lot of that and then make the most out of his V-trigger activation as well. We saw a raw V-trigger in the middle of the scramble, and he used one of the orbs to anti-air and then also followed up the anti-air. So that's one of the big things that you need in Street Fighter V as well, right? If you can get extra damage off anti-airs, that is one of the premier things for characters. And it looks like Amu, who experimented with the Seth, it looked good in that first round, but going back to old reliable. All right, I guess new reliable?
Yeah, I mean, reliable either way.
Yeah, you know.
Definitely Luke is very reliable.
So here we go, Luke. Gonna establish some games again. Yeah, already punch in the air. Big jump in. Oh, interesting. He's just going to take a point-blank V-skill install off that Yamamoto now. That's something that he got bullied with a bit in that first game, was the jump in. So he's trying to look for a little bit more air-to-airs. But right now he's looking for throws. And Amu looking for the shimmies. This is a great start. Tries to go with an overhead. Doesn't get a punish off of it, but still, at least the V-trigger activation is on deck. We have the low starter. This could be a comeback for Yamamoto. I like that V-shift and a V-break to avoid the drill setup, though. Definitely something that we saw Amu drop to in that first game. Ooh, the hesitation does catch him this time, but still got a long way to go. My goodness, I can't believe Amu is still alive here. No more orbs to his name. And V-trigger's up. Oh my goodness, she was soaring through the V-trigger, but got clipped by the very end. So very good start for Amu here in this second game. Ooh, DP was ready as well. Not going to let Yamamoto jump in for free. Tried one of his own, but getting stuffed. And I love the optimal anti-air punish.
Yeah, you mentioned getting damage from an anti-air. Nice. Clips to the low forward, and that's going to go all the way to the corner. Got the hit with a jab. Wasn't able to really convert it into anything. Went into a back medium afterwards.
See that backdash from Amu right
now,
there. He was aware
it's
of
just
the
given
slide.
up the entire screen. Jumps again and gets clipped by another EX. And it's cool to see Yamamoto happy to spend this EX resource just to get the damage where it presents itself. Not really precious with it at all.
Ooh, again, another clean anti-air. Didn't choose to follow it at that time. Maybe tried for an orb. We'll even take the trade right there. The orb behind him. Ah, but a little bit too far. And when you whiff, it's so easy for Luke to get that punish going.
On point with the anti-airs again. Backs up. EX Fireball. Another EX Sandblaster. There's the V-trigger. All gone.
Oh, into the
Damn,
overhead.
just raw overhead? Okay.
That was clean right there, off of the anti-air, right? A lot of the time, it's a dangerous game to do something like that. You do have an opportunity to go with some of more of a heavier option off of getting anti-airs like that, but people be frisky when they air tech and just want to bust out, so it's dangerous either way. A couple of times now, Yami has confidently followed up those anti-airs with aggressive options. We'll see if Amu busts out in that situation going forward. Oh, we actually didn't get the install off either. He'll get it now. Whoa, and that grants such a nice confirm off the low forward, but no, that is definitely a punish right there. He ended up getting a light flash knuckle, not what he was looking for. Now you can't punish that even with the drill hitting high. The orb is going to follow up and make it safe.
Yeah.
All the orbs off the table now, though.
Nice interruption.
Tech throw for that life right now. Amu trying to tie this set up.
Yeah. Just going to chip away. Got one more. And there it is. Amu.
It's tough, man. I mean, now you want to start setting up shot from full screen like that, but the V triggers when they're on deck, it's just so easy to respond to it, right? You don't even got to do a motion, just a 2-button tap. It's much quicker than you think it's going to come out. But I still like the way Yami Matoy played a lot of that Manat matchup up against Luke, right? It's going to be tough for her, but I thought he did a pretty damn good job. I liked Amu's adjustments just in terms of not only the character, but some of the decisions that were made too. He recognized after the V-trigger activation when he was in optimal slide range and backdashed right out of it. He did end up surrendering a lot of space to Manat in that sequence, but nonetheless, I still like where his mind is.
Yeah, and he's been, he's been making Amu jump as well a lot, which is free damage. Every single time he jumps in, he's going to anti-air that. If he's got bar, he's spending the bar for the extra free damage and the hard knockdown. There's the heavy flash knuckle.
Again, that might have been Yami Matoy trying to bait him in because he jumped so much in that last game, right? That shallow drill. Maybe see that a little bit more going forward. Ooh. Yeah,
I like the dash forward.
That was so smart. Yeah, seeing that screen freeze, knowing you're the one in the air right there, right? You're not going to want to continue your jump forward, seeing that he's going to freeze the screen. So he tried for the drill kick early, and one step ahead, Amu dashed forward before the DP. That was incredible. Oh, tried to reset. That could have been a kill on the other end. I mean, he could have actually probably killed with just the follow-up combo because of the CA on deck.
One more hit will do it. This is going to be very difficult. Damn! He was so passive that he let Yami Matoy just walk up and throw him from a long way away.
Yeah, I was able to inch his way forward and then get the throw. That means Yami Matoy going into this next round with full meter. And again, every time after Yami has been anti-airing with that crouch button, he's been being aggressive on the other end. Amu still hasn't challenged.
Looks underneath, no cross cut. Yeah, that V-skill, medium flash knuckle.
You can see how much he prioritizes it.
Yeah, nice and deep as well, very late, waited for it, watched it come over. I would like to see him play more of a projectile game. I feel like he's giving up so much damage by having to like jump in, and the speed of Luke's projectiles is that he can really go toe to toe with him at mid, just past mid screen.
Yeah,
and of course the fear of him encroaching in that space and starting to put out his buttons is really massive. Yeah, too far away to get a conversion, I think, off of that V-trigger activation.
Ooh, great challenge right there. Gonna spend the full meter on the CA, not let her do the orb for free. The duff.
Yeah, orbs are not protecting you after that. I can't remember what that is, but it's definitely minus more than that CA.
Yeah.
Which is pretty fast. It's 5-frame CA, right?
Damn fast. I'll double check.
I know you can just link it straight off his crouch and medium punch. Really quick. Very Ken Masters-esque. Almost gets the jump in. Being kept out by that fierce.
5-frame, indeed.
Yeah. Thank you. Nice! Just a little crept forward and made sure he got all of that DP.
I mean, just the raw activation. This is really the kind of projectile game that Amu has done, is just a raw activation of the V-trigger.
Then he just immediately jumps in.
Yeah. I would like to see him even just throw regular fireballs, right? Because obviously that V-trigger comes back. Like, it is one of those things that refills. So yeah, just tossing out the regular fireballs and mixing it up a little bit. Right now, it is a very even third game, though.
That drive gauge.
Yeah. On the horizon. Oh, he tried to get him to bite right there, but he didn't move a muscle. V-Seal is installed, so yeah, we've already seen that medium flash knuckle confirmed. That was a sneaky dash forward. Now you got to be worried about Chip.
Yeah, this one's going to be an impossible. Yeah. And of course he dies jumping.
Yeah, with that little bit of time left, right, it was all Yami Matoy at that point. It was definitely going to be tough to overcome. So good stuff, though. And recognizing
It's
the
nice to
strength of his
see.
character.
It's nice to see that. You know, his aerial control is much better than it looked yesterday. Maybe he was suffering from nerves, or you know, the fact that he didn't play in the first round and was a little bit, you know, maybe a bit cold. But his aerial control is so much better today than it was yesterday. You know, with the Manat. So let's see what Amu goes for now. We've gone back to character select. So this might either just be a mental reset, or it might be a character switch. He's got a couple. But I don't really feel like there's any reason.
Yeah, right.
I haven't felt like his losses have been because of character matchups, either of them, to be honest with you, Seth or Luke.
Yeah, I think a lot of the time it's come down to a bit of his decision making. Like we said, not really establishing a lot of the strong fireball game that Luke has in that range to contest Manat, jumping a little bit too often, especially with someone against someone whose anti-air game is as clean as Yami Matoy's. And I mean, this could be the only thing I could think of is, like as you said earlier, the comfort levels. Maybe Urian, obviously he's been playing it longer than the Luke. And maybe this could be something that lets him free up his mental stack a little bit, not worry as much about the options that he has to do on offense. Maybe they're a little bit more second nature for him on Urian, and he can kind of
possibly,
you know, focus on the decisions of his opponent.
Yeah. That's very much the thing of, like, which character do you feel comfortable with? I don't. He didn't look like he felt comfortable with Luke in terms of this matchup. Definitely not.
Good too. I like it.
Way too much jumping. Definitely not enough, you know, spacing on the ground. Not enough utilization of the projectiles. You see how he gets on with Urian.
I was gonna say, I feel like he's already thrown more fireballs with Urian than we saw with Luke.
Yeah, and that metallic sphere is not a good projectile. Let me tell you so.
I was gonna say he's enhancing it a little bit with some V skill, but he's been throwing a couple of raw ones
out, right? So
yeah.
Why?
And see, that's something also that you didn't really have to worry about with Luke. Like the Manat projectile counter, it probably works on his projectile, but it's a hit scan, bro. There's like no travel speed, so it's almost impossible to do it against.
Yeah, Luke's projectile is a very different pace,
yeah,
I guess, compared to Metallic Sphere. So.
Right now, Amo, I mean, he just needs to get into that range to activate that V trigger. See if he'll take. Oh. Charging up this time, but yeah, I was gonna say it's just gonna get reflected.
Yeah, just giving a free V gauge, man. Has to activate.
There you go.
Nice.
Force the way in. Oh, and just
the meaty stand medium punch. He could have got a conversion into it. I'm sure he could have got like a corner conversion there, but
yeah, that's unfortunate.
What did he hit her with? Medium punch.
I mean, I think you could do like EX Fireball into Aegis combo. I think.
Yeah, because the Aegis was already out. I don't know if you could have charioted her into that. I'm completely unfamiliar off of my standing medium punch routes, but I swear he could have got a kill there.
And that's what we talked about. Yami Matoy's anti-airs being super on point here. Amu maybe getting a little bit worried, getting a little bit anxious again, trying to take to the skies, but that has not been the route. Let's keep this man at bay. Keep him in the corner, make him deal with it. Nice max range on that crouch medium kick, and he gets the overhead reset. Being rude with it. Let me see Yami. Yeah, he's gonna try to get into that range. Activates the V trigger of his own. You got to deal with this stuff now. Just throws him as the orbs were traveling overhead from long distance.
His dome. That overhead has not failed. He's been quite sparing with it, but both times when it's mattered, he's gone to it and it's worked. And Amu's eliminated. Yami Matoy brushing off the cobwebs from yesterday, the ring rusts, looking a lot more dangerous here. Solid play from the Manat player from Saudi Arabia, and he eliminates Amu from Pakistan to move on in this bracket today. Good stuff from him. Let's take a look. Let's take a look at how that bracket looks before we get into the replays, if that's okay. So I would love to pull up how things stand at the moment. Are we able to do that, guys, in production?
We're going to find out soon, that is for sure. But at the very least, Yami Matoy did prevent himself from going 0-2 after that first round bye, right? So our first round bye competitors didn't take as much of a quick exit as they potentially could have. Good stuff from Yami Matoy bouncing back from that.
So Yami Matoy now will face the winner of Mr. Crimson and Lightning FGC. So we could potentially still have another Saudi Arabian player in the tournament, but they're going to have to go up against Mr. Crimson, the reigning Red Bull Kumite London champs. So that's going to be a very big ask, but these are the kind of wins that you need to really catapult yourself, elevate yourself into the conversation on that world stage. And I feel like watching Lightning FGC playing against MENA, there we go, you can see it now at home. Lightning FGC, when they played against MENA yesterday, they showed a lot of really cool stuff. A lot of signs of like great ability, and there was a lot of close rounds, way closer than the scoreline would have suggested. But they just weren't able to close it out. And I feel like, going up against Mr. Crimson, a man who's just got so much composure, under fire, under pressure, this is going to be possibly more of the same in that you're going to see Lightning with that oppressive cami play. Mr. Crimson so calm and collected on defense, possibly. But that's coming up. Let's take a look at the 3 different characters that Amu used here. The Seth looked good at the start. He had the mix-ups, the V-trigger into the kill. It was looking real good for him. And I felt like, this is the one. Seth pulled out the Seth, looking comfortable, but then ended up losing the first game and switched immediately to Luke. And it was like up forward on the stick was there all the time. You see, again, another jump.
It really felt like he was kind of trying to commit to overwhelming Yami Matoy and not really trying to adjust to the game plan of Yami Matoy, right? He wasn't really trying to pick apart his opponent. He was more so trying to overwhelm them and play his game and not worry about the game plan of Yami Matoy. And unfortunately for him, Yami Matoy was just too ready for that and too solid defensively. Like a lot of the jump-ins, as you mentioned, just got stuffed consistently on the ground. We saw as soon as the V-trigger was active, he pretty much completely controlled the neutral, right? So the orbs, kind of being able to go in and out and really switch up his approach with it. But yeah, that was a real good response from Amu for sure.
So we're at 1-1, 1 round apiece, and then the Luke loses, and I feel like the Luke was doing well as well. The Sandblaster was what closed it out for him in that game. He lost the game, I think, off of the overhead combo as well, using Luke. Yeah. Then switched to Urian and started using more projectiles with Urian, which was very, very confusing given that it's so easy to use Monarch's Reflect on them. He was doing it at a range where he had like seconds to react, not frames.
Yeah.
And just wasn't really able to get much going, especially off the Aegis conversions. So I feel like, those first 2 character choices definitely were okay, and that was not the reason why those losses were coming in. I think they were just, a lack of character strategy, maybe, not comfortable in the matchup. There was a lot of jumps. There was a lot of, there's this prevailing idea in a lot of games where if you find yourself up against an opponent that's showing you a strategy that maybe you don't understand, and this can work whether it's they're playing in an unorthodox way or it's a character matchup that you don't really know, the answer is generally just to kill them as quickly as possible, because the more that they're able to dictate what's going on with their gameplay that you don't really understand or have a counter strategy to, the more likely they're going to overwhelm you and win. So just go in and kill as quickly as possible. And maybe that's the reason why that he was taken to the air so often. But after like the 6th anti-air with EX grab afterwards that slams you to the ground and makes you take meaty orb again, you perhaps maybe start playing, to your strengths. That Sandblaster, so fast, so much range. But it didn't really happen, unfortunately. So it's a shame.
When it comes to Luke, I definitely think that was the biggest highlight that we just didn't see enough of was the projectiles. He was really relying on the V-Trigger 1, and it's a really great V-Trigger, but it is also very committal. Like, it is a lot of frames, and if you get jumped in on, like, it's not going to be one of those things that you can kind of throw out a little bit more freely like the regular projectile that Luke has, and we saw a couple of times him get punished because of it. So yeah, definitely good stuff from Yami Matoy, though. Was really ready for any and all offensive pressure that was presented to him, right? That's really what Yami Matoy impressed me with, was the fact that he never let himself get overwhelmed. He didn't let the mental stack get him to crumble or crash. He really was just ready for every jump in, was ready on the ground as well, and just didn't let whatever was being thrown at him kind of confuse him, because that was 3 different characters. It would have been very easy to kind of get in your own head, start confusing what answers are kind of optimal in certain situations, but he always kept it clean and always kept it focused.
Yeah, bruv. It's if it works, don't change it until you're shown a reason to change. I think that's something that's true across all fighting games, but very much so in Street Fighter, because there's not a massive abundance of options. So yeah, just keep it simple, stupid, and keep running with what's working. And Yami Matoy kept doing that. Anti-airs are on point. Didn't really need to do a lot else than that. Take the damage when it's presented to you. This one's going to be very interesting, right? We've got Lightning up against Mr. Crimson. Mr. Crimson plays online in tournaments like Saltmine League all the time. And it is impossible to play online tournaments in Europe without having to play Hurricane's Cammy.
Yeah.
You are not getting into top 8s regularly of online tournaments in Europe without playing Hurricane's Cammy. He is going to know this Cammy matchup really, really well. So let's see, firstly, whether Lightning can offer something a little bit different and maybe throw the tempo off for Mr. Crimson. Maybe, throw him off in terms of his reads on defense. Maybe has some character picks that we'll see change as well. But as I said, it's going to be very uphill, not just because Mr. Crimson's a great player, but he's got so much experience in this matchup against Cammy. So be an interesting one to see how it plays out.
Yeah, because I think that Lightning FGC actually got a bit of a rough draw yesterday up against Mena, not just because Mena is a phenomenal player, but because Mena is super good at adjusting to his opponent when his opponent wants to play aggressively. And that's kind of what we saw from Lightning, right? A lot of explosive Cammy aggression, and Mena is down with that. He'll play in the mud with you. He is very good at kind of devolving into that slobber knocker style and then winning out of it. And that's kind of what we saw. So Lightning, I was going to say maybe a bit better of a chance up against Mr. Crimson, because you said earlier how Mr. Crimson a little bit more cool, calm, collected, composed. He doesn't really go into the mud like that. He'll want to slow it down. But he has so much experience against a top-level Cammy that it's going to be hard either way.
I think so. And he's got a wide array, that was hard for me to say, a wide array of characters to pick from as well, should he wish to switch away from that Dalsim. We've seen him use Luke in grand finals the other day. In Qatar, we saw him use Laura recently online. I've even seen him use G recently online. Not V Trigger 2, V Skill 2 like Idom is, but
I was going to ask,
see what the G there. The Rashid came out the other day as well, so he's got an abundance of characters that he can go to if he wants. But I definitely think in terms of this matchup, he's going to be very, very comfortable with Dalsim. Looks like he's already on Dalsim, so we'll see what Lightning goes for. It is Cammy, so there we go. As to be expected, Cammy versus Sim. This one is just going to be a case of whether the Dalsim can actually get their offense started, because once Dalsim's able to be mobile but in control of what's going on, if he makes it not a scramble, when it's a scramble, Cammy wins. If Dalsim can start getting knockdowns and start, setting up his game, that's when it becomes very difficult for Cammy to deal with, because he just doesn't have the health to deal with it. If Cammy can make it a scramble, then it's going to be good for her. So we'll see. It's all about pressure. It's all about tempo.
Yeah, Cammy just doesn't have the resources, the life to get a lot of guesses up against Dalsim. So as soon as Crimson starts that game, like, her life just melts very quickly. Wow, that was already, you can see the experience coming out right there, right? The stand medium punch on block, afterwards going with the crouch fierce, that counter poked Lightning's button. Like, that is just the experience in this matchup. Like, he already fished for it again.
Did it again.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, that was really good spacing on the drill. Oh, man, yeah, Mr. Crimson putting up the wall.
Yeah, and this is the meaty slide again. Yeah, it's a real control game here from Mr. Crimson, and Lightning really needs to change it up a little bit. You're blocking medium buttons at a range at which Mr. Crimson's very comfortable, because there's no real fear of follow-up at that range. You've got the you've got the EX meter now. You need to start using that. You need to find yourself a way in. There we go. Oh, that's unfortunate, man.
Yeah, it is.
That is unfortunate.
Good catch on the stand medium punch, but unfortunately gets himself punished because the spiral arrow is not in range. Oh,
that was a nice challenge, a brave challenge, yeah. And here we go. This is when Cammy starts dictating.
He didn't have much health to lose anyway, but no, can't keep jumping back on the EX Fireball.
I didn't see, did she have CA when he did the slide on block into V-Trigger?
I don't think so, but I'm not 100% sure. But yeah, that's something that you got to be always ready with up against Sim, right? Is that you can't let them autopilot these things that have gaps. That's exactly how we saw NL take down Mr. Crimson yesterday.
Absolutely, yeah.
Every time he thought he was going to be able to go into that page one playbook strategy of just being able to do like a slide into a V trigger or this into that, NL was just like, no, bro, there's a gap there. I'm going to shut it down. You don't get to do that. So yeah, that's something that's going to be necessary to defeat Mr. Crimson. Yeah, and this is what we talked about when
set play
knockdown. Yeah.
Oh wow! Catches the literally the back of his turban there on the back medium punch.
Extended her box.
Pressing buttons at -2. The game. That was a nice block. I had no idea that was going to hit in front.
Yeah.
Can't lie.
Oh, gets the big jump in. Yeah, Crimson committed.
Yeah, gonna get a nice corner carry as well. It's well worth the bar, but. Not sure what happened there. The instant back throw. Gets out of the flames. Chasing down. Oh, what? The air-to-air wasn't there.
Yeah, the air-to-air wasn't there. Then he landed perfectly timed for that standard or that jump fierce to hit him grounded, so he got the follow-up. I like that from
nice
Lightning.
Conversion.
The neutral jump was a good thought too. You saw it kind of avoided the drill. Yeah, doesn't want to backdash again. He saw he got punished for it last time. Big jump ins. He's starting to find some of this timing on Crimson.
Didn't cancel it into the EX that time.
Oh, Crimson with a sick bait. Oh, and then the Yoga Anvil stopped taking to the skies. He's starting to adjust a bit. Just slides out of that corner. Oh, it takes to the sky.
Where's the hitbox on that?
Right above his dome piece. And Crimson just looking so normal about it. He's like, yeah, that's where it hits, bro. I don't know what to tell you. Like, is that what he looks like? He's like, yeah, I knew that was going to happen. I'm sorry that you didn't. I was expecting him to do some type of like CA. Like once he got out of the corner, I thought he was gonna try to trap her in the corner with CA, but instead it just go into the sky and doing that. We see him kind of call out some of these air options from other characters with that, not only in this set but yesterday as well.
You need to start watching the ankles when you get anti-aired by Sim.
Yeah, he's been getting hit by meat slide a lot.
Oh, come on, man! Could have got the knockdown there. He used his action, couldn't teleport. Isn't that? Yeah, slid into that, so he gets the full conversion, spends the bar for the damage, well worth it. That's a big jump in.
Yeah, my man Lightning, he's really
throw. He's too far away after the back medium plus frames.
Didn't want to challenge that time. Okay. Yeah, showing some respect to Crimson now.
Nice.
Yeah, viewer was so smart. Ew, he gets counter hit by that, and of course gets the EX Fireball follow up from that range, and Crimson definitely cooking right now. Yeah, I'm just respecting the plus frames, getting bullied though. All right, the +2 throw whiff, classic Street Fighter V right there.
The beautiful tried and tested whiff throw setup, nice. Gets the low forward into the EX, throw into the corner, jab check on the dash. Lovely spacing here on these drills, but Lightning FGC's really letting Crimson do whatever he wants in terms of this pressure.
Yeah, we'll see if he gets to do what he wants. Actually mistimed that meaty. Ooh. Interesting, ended up messing up his dive kick potentially.
Like if you're able to press like up on the stick to try and jump out of these drill setups, you can do something else. Like, you got time, nice goes low, it's a 50-50, and Crimson gets the job done. Yeah, it's just too much allowing Crimson to dictate what was happening there. I feel like there wasn't enough scramble and pressure. There were a couple of moments that there were. Crimson's defense was really good as well. And there was a couple of misjudgments on spacing. Crimson, spacing was perfect. He knew exactly which drill to do after which block string. Of course he does. You know, there's the dignitaries in attendance, the VIPs enjoying the action here. But yeah, Crimson is never going to make a mistake there. He's played this game for so many hours. He's drilled, no pun intended, these pressure strings over and over and over again. His spacing's immaculate. He's hitting your toes with these drills, super meaty, perfect. He's anti-airing you into meaty slide, and if you stand up, he's getting the combo, all of that. There was a number of times where, you know, Lightning was doing block strings into throw attempts, whiffing, he's just too far away. He's doing block strings into counter hits, trying to convert into the low forward, too far away. You know, and his awareness was maybe just not at the same level, which is to be expected. Not many people are on the same level as, you know, guys that are getting the results that Crimson is. But those are the kind of differences that really show out, especially when you're playing a character that is so dependent on converting this pressure into damage, into knockdown, into more pressure. Every time you mess up, not only are you giving up damage, not only are you giving up stun, but you are also giving up, you know, like positional advantage as well, and another turn of the same thing, which is what the character wants to be doing. Let's take a look at the replays. See some examples of this. Perfect setup again. As soon as Sim gets the knockdown, he's the one who dictates the pace and the spacing.
Yeah, I think you made a lot of great points, and the one that I was going to want to build on was the one towards the end where you said that he got a couple of hits, but he couldn't just make the most out of them, right? And not only do you have to do that against Crimson, but you have to do that against Dhalsim. That is like objective number one, because as soon as you're mid-screen or you're in the neutral, Dhalsim is winning. So when you get that knockdown, you really have to make sure that you make the most out of it. And we just saw Lightning not really be able to.
That was a perfect example.
Yeah. Like, he got the knockdown, he had corner pressure, and he really cost himself the offense right there, right? Just misspacing that throw attempt after the plus frames. So stuff like that has to be OD clean to take down someone like Mr. Crimson. So I like a lot of the ideas and strategies that Lightning was presenting, but he just needs a bit more experience at this level.
Absolutely. You know, we saw that lack of experience when he played Mena, where he was getting himself in good situations. He had great tech to deal with Birdie as well, blowing up the armor. Very, very close rounds that would go to the wire, and Mena would just show something that would close it out. There's a lot of interruptions that Mena was doing, I remember, that seemed to be working far too often. And he was able to close out rounds. There, it was more of a situation of he was getting the pressure, he just wasn't able to convert it into more pressure, more damage when those openings arise. And they are, because regardless of how good you are, if you're playing Sim and you're defending, you're still just guessing. Yeah, you know, there are still going to be moments when you guess wrong, and Cammy really needs to capitalize on that. So there's definitely stuff to go away and work on for Lightning. Lightning looks like a player that I think definitely has promise out of this region. I'd like to see them get more opportunities, but as of today, like kind of like golf between, we saw it, you know, with Amu as well, where they're playing against guys, you know, like Mr. Crimson, like Mena, and it's really highlighting kind of why these players are the best in the world at the moment. Indeed. But there's your 4 remaining. So we have a top 8 now. These are the guys that are here on loser side. Siem versus Angry Bird, Mr. Crimson versus Yami Matoy, the last remaining Saudi player in the brackets, doing the business with that Manat. So this is going to be our winners semi-finals. Can we have a look at the losers semi-finals? Can we have a look at the winners side as well, please, just so we can run through this 8 remaining players now that we've lost 6 officially. Here's the winners bracket, just to remind you as well. Mena, RD, and Punk on the winners side for North America. Gamer B and NL on the other side of winners semis, representing the Asian region, Taiwan and South Korea, of course. No Japanese players in attendance this weekend. We still have more games to go. So we're going to run these 2 losers bracket matches first, the ones that we saw. And then we're going to run the winners semis, which should bring us to 6 remaining players for our final day tomorrow. So we're going to lose another 2 Wow, one of them's going to be Angry Bird or Sien. One of them's going to be Yami Matoy or Mr. Crimson. We're going to be back after this short break. We've got 4 more matches for you coming up. 2 players to be eliminated. 2 players will advance to winner semi-finals, and then we're going to be wrapping everything up on Sunday. So high-level action for the whole weekend for you here from the Global Esports Tour 2022 in Boulevard in Riyadh City. We're going to be back after this short break with another elimination match. Sien versus Angry Bird. That's going to be a barnstormer. Hey, welcome back to the Global Esports Tour 2022 invitational event. 14 players descended on the newly built Boulevard in Riyadh City in Saudi Arabia. We have already lost 6 of those players, have been eliminated from our double elimination bracket. We now have a top 8. And we will be progressing through that. We're going to start off with losers side as we have 2 exciting matches already lined up. Only one Saudi Arabian player remains in the bracket, and it is Yami Matoy, the Manat player, who managed to navigate that losers bracket to get to this top 8. We've got some very exciting players in the top half, but let's get into our first elimination match from this top 8 losers side, and it is 2 world-class players. Angry Bird had the misfortune of being drawn against NL, an unstoppable-looking NL in the first round. He was sent to losers bracket, but since then he's looked incredible, beating his training partner and teammate Big Bird soundly with one of the best Ken performances I've seen in a long time. And Sien's been looking real good after falling to Gamerby. Let's talk a little bit about how on point he's been since then.
Yeah, Xian really was looking great since the start of the tournament, right? Was able to go up 2-1 on Gamerby, ended up falling in that set, but since then has dropped down into the losers bracket and has just looked extremely clean. And pretty much the Xian we've always known has those Seth v Trigger 2 setups on deck, and he really made a good adjustment to his opponent in that first round in losers bracket, because he got overwhelmed in that first round, right? And then he immediately adjusted his game plan, really started identifying the ranges that his opponent was prioritizing, and just completely changed his pace to make sure that he was never there, and really started utilizing the V skill a little bit better, and just in general was able to bring pretty much every tool that Seth has to the table and kind of overwhelm his own opponent with that stuff. Now, going up against Angry Bird, on the other hand, I think is going to be a little bit tougher to do that, just because Angry Bird is such an explosive player in his own right. He's most likely going to be playing the Ken. It's going to be tough to kind of get your whole game started up against that character, and you're gonna have to make a lot of right reads offensively on Angry Bird's defensive decisions to keep that going. Like, he has been so on point defensively in this tournament so far that it just doesn't seem possible to me, honestly.
The real thing here is the experience that Angry Bird has in this matchup. He's played it from the other side. Obviously, he himself used Seth for a season and a half, had to go up against Big Bird's Ken in this matchup, and since the improval on Ken's DP, he can punish every light spin kick on block every single time. He can whiff punish that roundhouse, that crouch roundhouse, with crouch fierce, and get ridiculous conversions into the heavy tatsu for the corner carry. So there's a lot of risk involved in terms of playing neutral against Ken. But the thing is, Sien's going to be very aware of this. Like, he's a real student of the game. He's going to know exactly what he can and can't get away with. We might see him start throwing out like raw heavy spin kicks in neutral. We're going to see him use other pokes like forward fierce. He's very good and adept at using that crouching medium kick that outranges Ken's crouching medium kick. Immediately going into a target combo, gets the tandem. Nice, damn.
Yeah, that was the middle of a block string. Like, man, Angry
just
Bird.
Straight into the middle of the cancel.
Yeah, recognizing the space.
And again, he's ready for the everything on startup.
The way he's been utilizing the heavy DP has been very, very impressive. Like, just the way he's been interrupting gaps, and he's been doing it so optimally.
Bro, and his corner pressure is so good. He just keeps you guessing all the time.
That's why I like Xian waking up with the crouch medium kick right there. Oh,
nice buffer. Yeah, the install of Ken's DP is really, really good. Again, he's trying to V-reversal. It doesn't work. Cannot V-reversal that.
Oh, yeah, the chip. I was going to say it was a possibility for both sides right there, both on a pixel with the CA on deck. Angry Bird, I love the V-reversal DP into that, really just checkmating Xian. We'll spin that one bar nice and early, get this corner game going here. Ooh,
yeah, there was no cancel that time. Just a hard read. Yeah, +3 on that. Still alive. Oh, he blocks the overhead.
Yeah, good stuff right there. Xian keeping the pressure up afterwards. Just jabbing it
Didn't
out.
use the CA. Okay, saves the bar. I respect it. I respect it.
Yeah, Seth, I mean, it's a dangerous game to play with, Seth, just because of how low their life is, but still, definitely, if you can get away with it, the ideal way to go into this final round.
Yeah, that was a heavy DP. It didn't come out. Yeah, Seth can actually cancel into like you actually saw him do it in the first exchange, and Amjad just cancelled into DP anyway in the middle of the block string. But Seth can actually cancel into the Hekatonkeres instead of the spin kick, which is not punishable on block.
Gotcha. Whoa, whoa. Definitely a scramble situation on the way down. Yeah, Ken just putting his attack the wrongest way.
No, that time he didn't use the EX Tatsu. Just jumping out with a cross-up, medium kick, crouched underneath, kept in there. And that's very, very impressive stuff here from Cien. He's not really allowing, Amjad to run away with it. Angry Bird is getting the corner pressure. He is kind of getting some of that Ken play running that we saw him use against Big Bird, that we saw him try and get started against NL. But it's not being as effective as it was, and there's a couple of interruptions that Cien's thrown out. He's not giving him the obvious options, obvious timings, and Amjad is kind of like forced to preemptively interrupt some of these cancels rather than wait for things like a light spin kick spaced out to DP through. Nice standing medium punch,
beautiful,
spaced perfectly.
Yeah, you saw the slight walk back right before it happened. Get out of that medium kick range.
Preemptive tandem engine. Goes straight through that fireball. Now he's got the...
Ooh. Yeah,
that was a lovely cross cut.
Throw, but we got cross cuts on deck.
Awareness of the -4. Damn!
The jump fears, baby. Always a potent
That's like
button.
It didn't even touch him. It's mad. He started crouching, but he still got hit.
Yeah.
Like the hurt box was still there.
Yeah, it doesn't definitely look like there's the force from the punch alone was able to connect with Seth.
Yeah, forcing Cien to reversal.
Yeah, she embedding nice and early. Ooh,
That medium punch challenge. Ready with a conversion to be expected. No counter hit cancel from that. But he's poking away with the fireballs. Again, he misses an opportunity to get that low forward cancel. I think he's mentally already committed to...
Oh, I see.
No.
Well, he was close enough to avoid the actual V trigger, but still.
Yeah, he's really, really on point with these -4 punishes on the axe kicks.
Yeah.
And that's dead. 1-1. I'm really impressed with Angry Bird, like his awareness of punishes, and he doesn't miss them. Like we saw him punish almost every whirlwind shot that was punishable against Big Bird. He's punished every single axe kick that's -4, every single one. He's really, really on point with these punishes, and with Ken, it leads to so much because he gets a knockdown off of absolutely everything. It leads to so much pressure. It's very important in his game plan. You can't leave anything on the table with Ken.
I love the confidence in his choices. Like, a lot of the time we see him challenge, as you mentioned before, right? It's not with these lights. Like, he's getting the punishes with the lights for sure, but a lot of these challenges in the block strings, it's with these medium kicks. It's with roundhouses. It's with DPs. Yeah. Like, he just knows, like, when someone is going to be leaving him at an optimal range to challenge with something that's bigger than just the light kick like that. Ooh, all right. We got DPs on deck ready. Angry Bird that stays ready really when it comes to DPs. And just in general, we have the hit confirmed that time. Going into the EX Tatsu, making sure he dies off of it.
Yeah, catches the start up of that spin kick. Wanted to get something started. Cien looking for an activation, wasn't able to get anything there.
You see Angry Bird, he's not really committing to buffers either, trying to confirm everything. Now we got the corner. Ooh, yes, the media this time. Angry Bird, I was going to say, he had been busted out a little bit. And I like
Cien's he did it against NL and it cost him, right?
Yeah.
Maybe a little bit too predictable.
But yeah, he's been just so aggressive defensively. And again, we find another moment where he gets the crouch medium challenge, but the cross cut's always on point for Xian.
I want to point out there as well what a great option that backdash was, because there's so many times when players will go for a meaty throw mid-screen after a sequence like that because they're hoping that there's going to be a panic V-shift. Now, the backdash is going to get you out of that situation because obviously they don't want to go for a meaty button. The V-shift will be safe then. Yeah. They want to go for a meaty throw so they can recover and really punish you for trying to panic, get out. That's why that then opens up the backdash to be a safe escape option against the throw. And that's kind of one of the cool things that V-Shift's done. It's really, given us a lot more options in terms of defensive choice making. The cross cuts are so good from Xian. That time he was really aware of the range and he could V-reversal there, but it's not going to matter anyway because he's going to get this CA, and I believe that's dead. There wasn't a lot of hits before it. Yeah.
Yeah, definitely.
Scaler hadn't quite kicked in.
That is what's cool about V-Shift is honestly how potent it makes the rest of the defensive choices, right? Because you add that to the mix, a lot of the other ones get more viable because of it, and just in general, you could cycle through more options. It's definitely opened up the game in that realm. But man, Xian doing a great job bouncing back. It's been back and forth to this whole set. I'm gonna see Angry Bird's aggression is been paying off, but a lot of the time I think Xian just been making the most of the opportunities he gets. Now we're back to playing the neutral game. Yeah, you see the preemptive spin kick to catch the fireball. Trade going in, the favor of Angry Bird at this point. Again, another 4-frame punish. Yeah, but these view reversals have costed him a couple of times. And you can see showing respect to that crouch medium kick, now just backing up and throwing fireballs because of it. That's why Xian starts switching to the V skill. You can see the way the ground game is really developing between these two. Oh,
wow, the angle just means that he wasn't able to get a cross cut. It just came out.
Xian willing to bet on the bust out on the wake up there. No anti-air. Really, that first jump fierce that he got hit by has really discouraged him from trying these anti-airs. I can't believe he blocked that. Ooh, tried for a long distance option, but didn't beat it cleanly. He didn't have the health to afford the trade either. Angry Bird staying alive.
Yeah, if he'd have beat that clean, that would have been V-trigger activation into, there you go, punishes it at all ranges.
Hecatonga is like you mentioned earlier, canceling into that to stay safe. Angry Bird, no buffer behind that medium punch. Oh, the V-skills didn't start up enough in time. Maybe he was out of range.
Nice.
Xian hard calling out these fireballs now. V-skills, spin kicks, DPs for the jump-ins. Really starting to frustrate Angry Bird on the ground. Once again, Angry Bird finds that light kick in a Tatsu. You can see how much ground that covers. There's that one normal and a special, and he finally breaks out a run. We haven't seen a run all set. Catches Xian off guard here. Going to put him in a guess for game scenario.
Yeah,
delay
Xian
rise.
Smartly doesn't get up quickly there. Avoids the side switch. Quick rise, back tech, mix up. Trying to catch Xian sleeping with that light Tatsu, but ironically he didn't wake up, so he didn't have to take that mix up.
Hit the snooze button, stayed asleep a couple of more hours.
Yes, sir. Don't have to be at work today.
That's what I'm saying. Clocking in, clocking out, and now again Xian really showing off the overtime that V-skill's putting in. But Angry Bird, the aggression has just been so on point. Look at this, slowly walking him to the corner. He tried to get the big heavy kick out, but got interrupted with one of Xian's own. Now switching up the fireballs a little bit again. Yeah, you see he doesn't want to get over aggressive with it because he's been caught by that V-skill a couple of times. And this has been back and forth each time, right? They've been trading wins. So if that continues, Xian's going to get the dub here. That's why Angry Bird, you can see high-level adjustments right now. Ooh, the walk forward after that. He's doing such a good job manipulating the ground after establishing the fireball. That was an excellent, excellent round from Angry Bird.
A dominant round from Angry Bird, and he is now looking at set point here.
Let's see again. Yeah, you can see now he's holstering the fireballs a little bit. Not being as aggressive with them. He lets one loose just to remind Xian.
Punish. Yeah, for me, Ken, the fireball is about opening up the dash and opening up movement. It's not like a projectile zoning tool. It's like a extended poke for Ken.
Precisely.
You have to just keep it out as something that they're going to think about and maybe just be frustrated by. But other than that, definitely not a zoning tool there. All right, what's the mix-up going to be?
Ooh, nice survives block. This one, and there's the big interruptions we talked about. Not interrupting with just jabs or lights, gets the big kick, and then baits it out.
And that is going to be it.
Angry Bird finally finds the right read on Xian's Wake Up. We saw a lot of success coming out from Wake Up EXDP, but man, when it mattered the most, he had the read, and Angry Bird stays alive, taking it 2 games back-to-back to do so as well. It was not an easy set whatsoever.
Yeah, very impressive run so far from Angry Bird here in the losers bracket. He has had a hard tournament, played nothing but killers. NL, his training partner Big Bird, Cien, it's looking real tough for him. He's going to have to play another killer, whoever he ends up having to face in the losers bracket tomorrow. One of the losers of the semifinals, but you look at who's in the winners semifinals, and there's no easy games there. Mena, Punk, Gamer B, NL again, possibly. If he's going to win this tournament, he's going to have an epic run. But he's looking really, really strong at the moment, Angry Bird. Very, very impressed by him. And he eliminates Cien in our 3rd round of the losers bracket here. I'm sure we've got lots and lots of really cool replays to look from both sides, because it was a real back and forth set that we had there.
Most definitely. And I think one thing that gets talked about a lot at tournaments, but I don't think we talk a lot about it on the broadcast, at least I don't, but that's bracket luck, right? And that's kind of what we see Angry Bird not have in this invitational. It was all random seating. They were drawn out of a hat, so that's how the bracket ended up playing out. But Angry Bird has definitely had the toughest path so far. As you mentioned, NL into Big Bird into Cien is a ridiculous 3 games to play. And that just so happens to be his luck of the draw this time, right? So the thing that kind of is good about having a bracket like this is the fact that he's warmed up at an extremely high level, right? Like, he has had to fight tooth and nail for every single set W that he's gotten. So because of that, I mean, he has the mental endurance of a champion, and he's shown that he can go the farthest you could possibly go in very big tournaments. So I think this is a lot of momentum that Angry Bird is building. He's playing at a super high level. He's dealing with opponents that are making him earn every single opportunity. He's not able to autopilot on anybody. And I mean, this is going to make him sharper than I think he would be otherwise. The downside of that bracket is just sometimes you run into somebody that's going to beat you because they're as good as you, right? But today he's gotten all the W's. So right now he is looking probably, I think, the most dangerous out of anybody left.
How many times was he, right in terms of interrupting that spin kick as well? And he was always ready with the counter hit. I think we saw in the last set that he did crouching medium kick, counter hit into crouch jab for the combo. He was on point. He's looking very dangerous. Obviously, he won last week in Qatar, sent to losers early on here by NL, but he's been running through the opposition and looking so dangerous. The kind of form that you really want to be hitting in Evo season, the kind of form you want to be hitting at an event with a $50,000 prize pool as well. Absolutely. He's definitely not looking past the day. It's going to be a hard fought bracket. We've got another elimination match coming up, I believe.
It's going to be Mr. Crimson and Yami Matoy next.
Yes, the last remaining Saudi Arabian representative going up against Mr. Crimson, who's already eliminated Lightning FGC. Very well could be Dalsim versus Manat, which I think is very good for Dalsim, but it could also be G versus Manat, which I think is very good for G. It could be Laura versus Manat, which I think is very good for Laura. It could be Luke versus Manat, which I think is very good for Luke. So, yeah, you kind of get the theme that this is going to be uphill for Yami Matoy. Is there any way that you can see Yami Matoy pulling this out in 3 out of 5?
Man, I like that you highlighted that 3 out of 5 point at the end right there, because I do think he can get a game or two. It's just going to be tough to really get 3 in a best of 5 setting up against Mr. Crimson. Yami Matoy looked very on point with the Manat. I was impressed with his V-trigger usage, and I think he makes the most out of a lot of his V-trigger open ups. And because of that, you always have a chance, honestly. You have the V-trigger's chance when it comes to Mana. You can really make things happen with that character. And he picks his spots when it comes to the overheads, right? He's does a very good job at usually saving them for round closing moments. He doesn't let his opponent get used to them and whatnot. Mr. Crimson, it's still going to be tough to use on him just because his reactions are ridiculous on top of everything else. So it will be tough. I just see Yami Matoy definitely sneaking a game or two, earning a game or two, but in a best of 5, first to 3 up against Mr. Crimson, it is a tall task.
All right, it's going to be tall, it's going to be long, the limbs are going to be out, the hurt boxes are not going to be there. We'll see who he uses as well, because I think we can be very confident that Yami Matoy is going to run that Manat, but I'm just really interested to see who Crimson goes for, because
you getting me high for
it's
this
not
Crimson
a given.
G. I want to see it. I want to see the Crimson.
It's not
G.
a given. It's not a given that he's going to pick Sim. So I would love to see a bit of G. G's always exciting.
That's my boy. G. I'm definitely one of my favorite new characters for Street Fighter V. And as you mentioned, definitely has a lot of options in this matchup. A projectile that is very difficult to deal with from Anon, right? Not going to be easily reflected. And just a plethora of other options, of course. But yeah, Mr. Crimson, the signature sim will probably be what we see. Obviously, he has the Luke as well. Maybe he wants to warm that up a little bit to go forward, because he might need something other than sim if he's going to keep going in this bracket. But he can't overlook Yami Matoy for sure, because that's when those type of competitors that have this explosiveness, that has those V-trigger conversions that are ready to deal massive amounts of damage off any hits, that's when they're going to sneak games on you, is when you're trying to look past them, when you're trying to kind of think about other things and you're not fully focused on the game. They're ready and they're trying to strike for blood, and they're not going to give you a lot of chances. So Yami Matoy, if he's on his game, Mr. Crimson, if he gets caught looking ahead a little bit, we can see an upset.
We're going to find out now. You can see the game loading up there. It is Manat. Let's see her doing a gymnastic performance. And Sim. Let's see one of the masters of Dal Sim exhibit why this matchup seems to have gotten so good from him. He's using V-Skill 2, shades of Arturo.
Oh.
And I think, that really makes the projectile just so frustrating for her to deal with. So, she can't evade it. She's going to have to look at... You can't really reflect as well because it's so slow. It's not something you can deal with. So anytime you can get that V-Skill off, there we go. And again, it just becomes a really frustrating match.
Yeah,
it's the knockdown, which means he's going to get to apply some of his pressure. Sorry, Rinch, go through.
If she connects with the fireball, right, a lot of the time, because it's so slow, Dawson's just going to hit her out of it. So, yeah, definitely a difficult thing to deal with. Oh, no!
Yeah, and it turns a normal fireball into like a legit mix-up as well, because it's so slow, it doesn't go away. Like, it doesn't hit the floor and dissipate, it bounces. So he's able to just, like, mix you up after it. You can't realistically go behind it because it can hit you out of it. You can't jump over it because he's got ample time. So every time he's able to get a fireball out when it's V-skilled up, it becomes a real mix-up for him, on top of all of the other stuff that Crimson's already doing. And I just think it's really hard for Manat to deal with this.
It's looking like it so far.
Yeah, he's just way more mobile as well. If he gets a knockdown, it lets... Look at that. Like, you thought it was your turn, but it wasn't your turn. Oh. And there's the sniper for the round. It's really hard. I really think this matchup's really hard for Manat.
Yeah, and
more power to anyone who's still using her, because I think you're really struggling out here. Shout out to Rickermans Barnett in Sweden, one of the other players out there. He actually won Brussels Challenge this past weekend, so people are obviously still having trouble with the matchup. But more power to anyone still out here trucking it out with Manat, because I think it's a difficult life for her out here in the meta.
Yeah, I think she's one of the coolest characters in the game, right? And rewards a lot of creativity on the player end. I think that's why a lot of people are drawn to her. But yeah, definitely has some tough matchups against the top tier of the game. Oh, okay, but Yami Matoy finding every correct button. Sometimes the rounds just go your way. However, not enough to all the way kill Mr. Crimson, and now we got to play neutral all over again. Yeah, at least he's not giving him a lot of breathing room here, right? He doesn't want to let Mr. Crimson get that V-skill established. That's why Crimson finding a little bit of aggression, but we've popped the V-trigger. Trying to avoid it. Doesn't get a full confirm, but yes, the drill in your face like that. Classic Manat move. Gets the follow-up with the orbs. Looking good. Yami Matoy, you just need a couple of more rounds like that. It's all about getting a big hit at the start, and that's why he went with that roundhouse right there, right? Trying to hard call out something so he can start the game. Because, yeah, when you're just in this, when you're weathering the storm of Dalsim, that's what we talked about. When we're in the neutral, Dalsim's winning. So you're trying to get that big hit, get that knockdown, and then start this game to never let Dalsim put you in this position.
She's got almost, no way of getting a knockdown outside of a crush counter or like an anti-air. So if you don't really need to, oh, yeah, we got loops. I love loops. Unless Dalsim's actually putting himself in a situation where, like, reliably it's going to be an easy anti-air situation, like, it's really hard to knock him down as Manat. Because he's not going to play in a range where you can just easily cancel into, like, EX Orb. And she doesn't get a lot of other knockdowns, so...
Yeah, EX Orb, definitely her most consistent way to knock the opponent down, and just really never in that range. Oh, unfortunate right there. I like that drill call, though. That was really impressive from Yami Matoy. Recognizing Crimson's drill habits. He is happy about that move for sure. Like, yeah, in that range, he loves him some drill.
Damn. I swear they could have comboed after that. That hit so low.
Yeah, definitely.
And it was counter hit.
I think he had already just resigned himself into the next option. We tried to use that orb to cover the jump. I mean, I let her live for a little while, but still, this is just such a tough, place to navigate. He finds his limb through all the orbs. You've seen that? The 4 orbs at the corner and the orb next to her. He just bypasses all that. No thanks.
Found the cookie jar.
Yeah.
Snuck out.
Oh my goodness. Just stuffed a few cookies right in the turban.
Yoink.
I'm taking them with me.
Mr. Crimson looking to get himself more than a couple of cookies here in this $50,000 invitational at the Global Esports Tour in Riyadh. Yami Matoy giving this some real consideration.
Hold on. They got like American
cookies. No, he's running it back. He's running it back.
Yeah, well, I mean, this is his character, right? When it comes to the Manat, I'm not sure what he has besides.
I mean, we saw him pull out the poison in the first game he played.
Oh, right? That's right. That's right. But yeah, I mean, we've seen that matchup a little bit, right, between Art and Item. But yeah, Yami Matoy not confident that just wants to go with the character he's most comfortable with, try to make some things happen.
When he gets that fireball out, you don't get to play.
Okay, we got a crush counter knockdown though. This is the chance.
Yeah, this is when you do get to play. Yeah, picks him up, doesn't get the counter hit, so no juggle state.
He actually snuck in a V skill after that air to air. That was crazy. Ooh, the plus frames for days right there. And Gale was so meaty. Yami Matoy now finds himself back all the way up against the wall. Mr. Crimson, establishing some normals first so he can sneak in the V skill. Oh no, you're trying to walk forward. Massive damage, but a little bit too high on that drill.
Mashing the back tech. Interruption, but he still gets it off. There you go, you got to hold that. The mad thing is that, you don't get to play. The mad thing is that whilst the fireball's out, he can V-skill again.
Yeah,
exactly. So like, whilst you're dealing with the fireball bouncing off the wall and off the floor, you can just V-skill up again. Oh, he blocks the overhead. Like you said, this man is ready. And aware enough to V-reversal as well. And Mr. Crimson closes it out. The usual tricks not working for Yami Matoy. All of the tricks working though for Mr. Crimson, and I really like that V skill 2 pick in that matchup. As I said, one of the first guys I ever saw really put that V skill to use was Arturo, swearing by it. The character doing a lot of work with that V skill 2, and you can see why in matches like that, when it's kind of like long range pokes and zoning, you can see exactly why that's going to be a difficult thing to deal with. You really have to be aware of a lot of different things. Forces you to respect Sim, and as I said, he can even just charge it up again, and the shenanigans starts all over again. You know what I mean?
Yeah, like it's honestly, like you said, that's the absurd thing about it, is that you could just do the V skill behind it, and great recognition to do it in the Mana matchup, because a lot of the time, since that V skill takes a second or two to install like that, with Mana kind of content to be that far away and doesn't have a quick way to close the gap, right? She's not like a Cammy that can like spiral arrow on reaction or something like that. There's going to be nothing to stop that V skill install a lot of the time. So great recognition. And we saw him take advantage every time he threw a fireball out, right? If it went over her, then he just teleported behind and waited for it to bounce back. Like, it was great resource management, and just in general knowing how to capitalize on that V skill, even though he hadn't played it in this tournament up until this point, right? Mr. Crimson is just like, he's a wealth of knowledge, and he's just always ready with so many things and so many options. So great stuff to him. He's going to be moving on, and we're going to be moving on to the winners bracket side of things.
That's right. We've got 2 more sets to go today. Let's take a look at some of these moments here. Mr. Crimson converting.
Yeah,
there you go. See it coming back. No, it's not your turn. It's not your time to shine. Puts her in the fire, and then there's the sniper to take, I believe, the first game. Yep. Again, nice. That was a nice trade. Managed to follow it with the air grab.
Yeah, and then another thing that I think is worthy of note is Yami Matoi seemed kind of mentally worn down by the end of the set. Like, at that very last round, he definitely got a couple of hits right there where he couldn't convert it into bigger damage, right? Like, even before that overhead reset attempt, he got a fat jump fierce combo with orbs out that he could have done massive damage with, but it just felt like, right there, right? So at this point, it just kind of was a little bit too worn down. I think he just wasn't as sharp as he was earlier on in the tournament. So it'll happen playing against Dalsim and that war of attrition style that he presents.
Also, I think by the time that he went for that overhead reset, that he'd run out of orbs pretty much. And there wasn't really the fear in his mind, in Crimson's mind, like to look for a lot more things. So even then, he still V-reversal. He knew that the single hit was all he needed, and it's so easy for Sim to just get a single hit. Even against Manat with her pokes, it's still easy for Sim to get that single hit. And it was just really, really smart play. Really, really smart play from Crimson. Showing like he shows moments of greatness in terms of like his reads and his decision making, but it's like consistent strategies like he displayed here in this Manat matchup, which is like what gets you there. Like that gets you there, and then to get you over the pinnacle of like over the top against these world-class players, that's when you have to have like the sparks of genius, the moments of inspiration, the almost psychic reads, the understanding of your opponent's decision making, and like, are they afraid? Are they emboldened in this moment? Like, are they likely to do this or that? But having a solid strategy is what you build on from there. And he didn't really have to go beyond that in this matchup. He just had a really strong strategy for this Manat matchup. He just executed it really well, and really just dealt with Yami Matoya.
Yeah, I think that's perfectly put. You got to have that solid foundation, that game plan that's going to get you past a lot of these players that know what they're doing. Right? Mena is so good, bro. With the evil shaped into the side of his head as well. Oh, boy.
That man is Dominican.
Most definitely. Revving
He is
to the core.
Very Dominican.
But you seen the picture, right, when the Evo logo got done, right? I was like, man, the Dominican barbers really be going off, man. He was so
proud
clean.
of that. Very proud. I respect it. And Punk, of course, what a matchup this is going to be. At the moment, Mena coming off the back of a second place at CEO. Punk hasn't had the results as of recent that you would expect him to be getting. But again, I think you said this yesterday. Karen's always been the business character, and is Karen still the business character for him? Is that like, are we in a not a character crisis, but like, is there a okay, all right then, I just need to win now. I'm just going to this character. Who is that for Punk at the moment? At the moment, it's still Karen, but she's not the same.
Yeah, and honestly, I mean, from what I could tell, he just doesn't seem like he's very concerned right now with finding that character. He's like, Karen, whether she's the business or not, I don't think he has a lot of fun playing Karen at the moment in this patch against these type of characters that are kind of dominating the meta. So he's been going with characters that feel like he's just trying to have a good time, and he's not really concerned with finding that character that is going to that he's going to gel with to the point where he's going to be able to shut down a lot of these other top level opponents. And it's interesting to see, right? It's kind of a different motivation, a different mindset that we've seen from Punk up until this point. And it's always something that we, I think, as the people outside that perspective, want to see how it kind of affects his performance. A lot of the time you think, like you said right now, he doesn't have the results he once did. And that's kind of how it's been affecting him so far. But I am always interested in seeing perspective shifts with players and kind of just putting importance on things that they didn't find important before and how that affects them overall, right? So it looks like the Luke from, I believe, Mena RD, obviously. And right now you can see Punk is just kind of going around the character select screen. Necalli, it looks like to me, is the character that he has the most fun with. And that's who he lingered on the most right now. But we still see that he is just going through. He can play every character in the game. We're going to see who he busts out. Ooh,
yeah, I mean, I just want to see who it is. Might be Rose, might be Colleen, might be Falk. Like, I don't know.
Yeah, he's highlighting the Lucia right now. Oh, it looks like he's going to lock in. But we're going to see. Oh, Punk has an idea dealing with this character. Didn't we see this matchup? Was it who played a Gamer B versus NL, right?
Gamer B played Lucia against
Cien, that's right.
Cien Seth, and then immediately went to Luke against...
Gamer B versus NL is the next matchup, actually. That's right.
Nah.
Okay. So, but yeah, we found some, I think, instances of this matchup where Lucia can kind of play outside of her range with those fireballs and maybe kind of make Luke come to her a little bit with certain options.
I mean, she's got some good poke buttons. I think it's a medium kick. The crouching medium kick's got really good range as well. Where did this stun come from? Like,
yeah, right.
3 sequences, which I know is normal for most characters, but yeah, it's a fair bit of stun. Nice V reversal. She gets the knockdown into the corner as well, very Karen-esque.
True.
We'll run straight into that back roundhouse though. V skills up, so you got to respect that flash knuckle. Ready for the DP, and he cashes out with the CA as well.
Yeah, it's going to be a whole lot of damage following that DP. Oh my goodness, enough to actually kill her outright. I thought he was going to be alive on a magic pixel, but no magic here.
Impressing the dignitaries here today.
And Punk, you give him a whiff, then you're going to give him a punish, that's for sure. Nice, meaty as well. Oh, yeah, and staying clean with it. Let him see the stars. What's your bird chart say? Oh, it looks like he's a good enough masher to get out of it. That's what it says. Ooh. And I mean, Punk, he started the last round very dominant as well, but Mena RD rallied the comeback, and you talked about Luke's damage output. It is through the roof. This could definitely be a quick dub for Mena RD all over again. Man, the stun bar is building as well, dealing with the +1, respecting but challenging afterwards. Then we got a V-trigger activate and a beautiful throw bait from Punk the God.
Yeah, Punk went for the jab medium. Like, if it was on a counter hit, he'd have got a full conversion. But regardless, he still cancelled into the V-trigger anyway to make it plus. Took his turn, hit him with a shimmy. And that was the round. There's the roundhouse crush counter, V skill. Building up that V gauge. Nice and safe. Very frustrating when she just gets into that range and she can just keep spamming that on block.
Mena finds his activation point though, gets the install. I love that from Punk, trying to close the distance immediately, gets the activation as well. It's going to be a good amount of damage. Not quite into throw strike range for death, but it's close.
Nice, the frame trap.
Yeah, men are
that was slide,
trying
right?
to find something.
That was slide, right?
Was it?
It's like she did the slide on her knees and then cancelled it into the V trigger.
Which is a very smart, right? Slide is a lot of the time what move you want to take your turn after, so.
Yeah.
Good stuff from Punk here, going with the Lucia. Again here, he's really just been floating around the character select screen, vibing with whatever he feels like at the time.
DP, nice and deep again.
Oh yeah,
nice
tried the roundhouse.
That is gonna hurt.
And yeah, he hasn't really been trying the raw fireballs at all, so it's definitely all Lucia trying to come to Luke in the neutral.
Again, the whiff punish. Mena's really, really aware of this now. Like, he's just backing up, utilizing the fireballs and the forward-moving normals that Luke has access to. Very good at whiff punishing, because you can just mash them out into target combo and connection.
Exactly.
It's a really effective way of playing the character. It might not lead you to huge damage, but he's getting Oki off everything as well, so...
And this started with Punk putting the fireball on the table again, right? He hadn't put it up to that point, but Ben actually dropping the combo. He tried to get the charge.
Overcharged the flash knuckle. That's why so many people like that V-Skill 1.
Yeah, exactly. It gives you that instant charge.
I like using the V-Trigger Sandblaster into the... as a way to cancel out that fireball as he jumps in. Oh, this is going to hurt. And that's it.
Punk hitting him with the cross cut and then put him at an angle where he needed one of his own and couldn't find it. Yeah, Punk is definitely looking like he's grooving in this matchup right now. It looks like he's having a good time playing it. EX Fireball. I'm in RD. You know, this is the fun stopper, Luke. That's what he's trying to do right now. Just put the Sandblast out. He's got the V skill. That means lots of damage.
Another whiff punish, and he is definitely getting mileage off this this strategy, but he's cornering himself, and then Punk's being able to open him up.
Punk's got that V trigger too on deck again. Oh no, man!
Punish of his own.
Extending that time.
The corner carry this character does is ridiculous, by the way.
Oh, German. Oh,
she's been in the dojo.
Oh no, but all that put to a stop here. It is a V trigger activation, so she lives here. Oh, Punk trying to inch his way forward.
How dare you stop blocking for 3 frames? How dare you?
The hit scan, brother. No travel speed. Thanks.
Fighting for their lives right now. You want to stay in winners, obviously. It's a huge prize that they're playing for, and the most, the best chance you're going to have against a top 8 full of deep world-class talent like this. You want to stay in as winners for as long as possible.
Yeah, this is a
again, Punk not getting put off for that roundhouse. There's a big risk involved. It definitely hangs out and lingers, and Luke is definitely able to punish that really heavily on whiff. The air-to-air, I respect it.
Wow, and even got the DP follow-up very close to death here for Punk. Ah, yeah, and try to interrupt. Just commit to the fireball. Low risk, heavy reward.
No whiff punish that time, but he gets him the staggered EXV score.
Confirm off that crouch medium kick. Needed that.
Nice counter hit, confirm. Hold that throw. Damn.
Yeah, it was a very impressive whiff punish. And then catching the walk back, but Mena RD walking back into that forward advancing normal, into the super afterwards.
Chunks. His character does way too much damage. Like, you can nerf some of his buttons and put a little bit more recovery and what have you, but the issue is how much damage he gets off of just clipping you. It's huge. The stun, I think, is manageable. the
Yeah.
damage output is crazy.
Hey,
Absolutely
it's
crazy.
ridiculous, man. It just ends up melting. And that was just a wild third game, honestly, because it felt like
Yeah.
such a close set going up until that point. And I can't believe it. That one match felt, I mean, like 30 seconds. I felt like we were just looking at Mena and Punk in the crowd, and we were right back to that point. So Punk, I think, recognizing how much Mena has kind of adjusted to facing the Lucia, and he's going with the Chun-Li, a character that has been in his arsenal for a long time, and I think a character that he is extremely potent with. Oh my goodness, but if Meta's gonna start the round with Sweet punishing the stand fierce, this is gonna be tough. Beautiful, looking for the roundhouse. A reminiscent of Lucia, but yeah, no follow-up. Oh, and then
jumping on his own
light kick. And that's the thing, right? Is that this is the luxury that Luke's fireball grants him, even outraging Chun-Li, and that was a beautiful confirm. Yeah, frustrating Punk, trying to just get in by any means necessary in this fireball game. That's what we talked about. That's what we wanted from some of our other Luke players from before. It's just such a difficult thing to deal with. There we go. That's that background house.
Nice.
The adjustment he needed,
doesn't get the cancel. Now he's in the corner on his back. The stun is racking up. Fights out though. Nice. And again, that mid-screen backdash.
Oh, the big crush counter. This is what he needed so bad. Ah, but he commits to the throw at Mena, just keeping walking back.
Yeah, making the most of that V skill, and this is going to be a really hard situation. V-trigger's gone though. Is Punk going to be able to activate?
It's so
he needs the
difficult.
EX to get in. Plus frames. Yeah, Mena knows. That's his turn. Double KO! What happens?
That's it.
So Mena wins? Yeah, Mena wins.
Players,
Mena wins.
Both players get
takes
around
the round.
on the double KO.
Yeah, and Luke wins. And Mena is the one who advances off the back of his CEO second place. He has now managed to take it past Punk. And the question remains, the go-to character for Punk. There's not an obvious, business character, like you said. I think it's really a very insightful point to make. We always knew for season after season, when the Karen comes out, it's serious business. Not that his other characters are not serious business, but they don't have the same weight that Karen pick has. And whilst he is able to play the cast, it's not the same level of power that we saw when he really just was synced up to the way that Karen was playing for so many seasons. And he seems kind of like averse to going back to her as well. I know, she's not a winning matchup against Luke, I don't think. Luke definitely, makes her explode if he touches her. But he definitely hasn't found that one character that you just think this is going to be the impossible task to beat Punk's insert character here.
Yeah, and we could speculate about the reasons why. Excuse me. Oh, my green screen's falling down in the middle of this. Don't worry about that. But that's a perfect time for a replay, actually. But
Absolutely.
We can speculate about why Punk kind of changes, or why he doesn't want to go back to the Karen, right? Is because I think a lot of the time he kind of has a special memory with the character, a special connection. And when she's not doing the stuff that she was doing when he was at his peak, I think it kind of bums him out, right? And I think having fun playing is something that is extremely important when it comes to having success at a high level in competitive fighting games. And I think that's what he's trying to find the most right now.
I really like watching the Lucia play, to be honest with you. But, after that first game, Mena was really very much aware of what Punk was trying to do in this matchup and started playing that spacing game. And the waiting game as well. There, obviously, the anti-air didn't work. He was so on point with those DP anti-airs, however. Playing that patient game, just the walk back, forward moving normals. Again, the conversions that Luke is able to get off of these. I look at all that red life. This is for the kill. He doesn't need to use EX as well. That's the other thing. Like, you see Luke on CA so often because he just doesn't really need to utilize that EX bar for anything else. Yeah, you can throw out a couple of EX sandblasters, but and there's the double KO. Closing it out, and of course it is Mena that is going to be advancing to winners final. We're going to find out who he is going to be facing because we have two Asian players on the other side of that bracket, NL and GamerB. Let's talk about this man, NL. This guy, again, like we've been talking online a lot as a community about the best region, the top this, the top that, who's the, Japan, like who are the strongest, that and the other. And I feel like a lot of guys have been putting weight on results and performances. And
oh man,
that's to be understood because we have to go by results. That you have to go. It's a results game. Like my man's nice, but what has he won? You're just nice, isn't it? I can't say you're the best if you're just nice and you ain't got any titles behind that. But NL's results have also been really good. Second at Red Bull Kumite at Vegas, he got second, and there was Bearman there. He's won his World Warrior event recently. He consistently wins in his region. We saw him play Intel World Open. He looked like an absolute demon. Yeah. It was ridiculous. And yet I still am not seeing his name come up in these conversations. Kind of, for me, it's very similar to the way that people overlook Phenom. Another player who's ridiculously consistently is up there swinging it out with the guys that we're all talking about as the best. But when it comes to talking about the best, it's kind of like we forget he exists. But NL man's reminding us today, let me tell you that.
Yeah, and he's been reminding us today, yesterday. NL has just been completely ridiculous in this tournament. And yeah, I mean, I think it's partly because when it comes to the spotlight in the Asia region, a lot of us just kind of look at Japan, right? And NL, obviously being from South Korea, has played in a slightly different region a lot of the time, has played against some of the other players, hasn't gotten as much shine as a lot of the Japanese players have. And he's been overlooked in the conversation of the best despite having pretty much everything that backs it up, right? He's also not a big showman a lot of the time, right? He's very stoic. I'm going to handle business. I'm going to let my gameplay do the talking. And that type of player and that type of person can get overlooked in the conversations where people are trying to shine spotlights on people, right? So I think that's another thing that has kind of prevented him from being in those conversations. But for anybody that's trying to get their mind right, you got to put NL in that conversation of the best in the world. And definitely, I think, in my opinion, a top 10 Street Fighter V player of all time.
Oh, that's a...
Straight up.
That's a big claim.
It is.
I'm trying to think now what my... Of all time, Street Fighter V?
All time.
I have to have Punk in there.
Oh, yeah.
Like, of the modern era, I have to have Idom in there. I have to have Takedo in there.
I think, yeah. Those are the three given, like off jump that you think of. I would put Problem. Considering Problem's EVO champion, Red Bull Kumite champion.
And then it's like Daigo, Bonchan. That 5 is a small number.
Bonchan, I would also.
But you know
what? Bonchan's probably in my top 5.
When we were looking at the tail end of Street Fighter 4 and the beginning of Street Fighter 5, this man on our screen right now was someone that was ever present in top 3s. And he got some big results with his Nakali.
Yeah.
He started to get results of the Kami Season 3 as well, among the legion of other Kamis. He made the switch to Seth and was getting results with the Seth as well, unfortunately in a time in which there wasn't a lot of offline competition available. And now he's here with Luke. So at least he's consistent in that this man will sell out.
Yeah, exactly, right? He knows how to win at the character selection.
This man's been playing fighting games for at least 42 years old, GamerB. He knows, he's been around the block. He ain't got time for all this nonsense, learning 17 different characters and counter-picking this and playing for... No. if he's playing fighting games, he is playing to win, and he is picking a top tier. So I respect it. You know, the working man is out here. You know, family man. You got to pick them family man characters. The missus might not let you have 8 hours a day practicing your mid-tier character specialist pick. You got to get the most out of it. You know what I mean?
The days of his 8 on are gone. Like, my man is all about just trying to play those characters.
Bro, that character had one frame link B and Bs.
Yeah, exactly.
You're not practicing that
gone, bro.
At 42. You haven't got time for one frame link jab B and Bs.
That's the trick. That's the actual like deception that fighting game developers have pulled over the community's eyes, is that people think the simplified inputs and execution are for the Zoomers, the new people. It's actually for the people that have been playing forever. It's for the boomers that don't have time to do this execution stuff anymore. Like, come on, son.
Like, sitting in training mode, trying to do these Sacco combos in Street Fighter 4. No one's got time for that over the age of 30, bro.
Yeah,
just
straight
pick Luke.
up.
Let me just pick Luke. I'll pretend that charging Flash Knuckles difficult, and it's all good. Here we go. Both of these guys are professional players. These are professional players. Picking Luke, 50,000 on the line. My man's got New Balance on. That's how you know he's
comfy.
They're probably like $250, and they're not even a collab.
Yeah, exactly. Man, NL been hip.
You ain't got time for you Yeezy wearing kids.
I tried to get stock in New Balance. I know it's on the rise. It's a private company though, unfortunately. But either way, we have our Luke mirror, and it's going to be winner semifinals. As you mentioned, two professionals, two at the top of their game right now. I'm actually excited to see this mirror match. I want to see who's really the best Street Fighter fundamental player, because I think that's what they're going to try to outgrind each other in the neutral with. Oh, right there. And now beating him to the punch with the crouch medium. Oh.
Gamer B will do that. He learned how to play in the arcades, bro. He will bust out and let you know what time of day it is.
Every credit
Both got
counts.
V-trigger stacked, and they're going to be trying to hit confirm that.
Oh, yeah, they both won a plain Janes on both sides. No V-trigger.
There you go.
Twos.
Dash, dash, dash. No.
Yeah, just the double dash.
Respecting it. Yeah, not trying to steal them frames.
Oh,
damn.
The V-trigger.
The last hit.
Enough damage.
Great calculation from GamerB.
Chunked them. And we talk about the big bets, right? How those can turn around the game. That EXDP was the key to starting up GamerB's offense. Oh, nah, you reaching now, though.
Nice counter hit interruption. And that's the thing. When you DP early, yeah, like it might be blocked, it might not. But what it will do is later on in the set, that's going to get you turns. Like if you show that DP early, your opponent is going to look for it again. And, you know, you might just get the opportunity to steal a turn back.
Like, I mean,
nice,
even there,
ready.
Right?
Yeah.
Even there, NL waited for the wake up DP. Great reactions to seeing the jump forward and then cross-cutting on the other side.
That's the thing, right? You can wait for one thing, but you have to be aware of whatever else is out there and also execute when it does happen. And NL is so accomplished, so very, very complete as a player.
Yeah, that really shows the levels to this fighting game stuff, right? You could predict your opponent's wake up DP, but when they do something else, are you ready for that option? And again, we find ourselves in this corner. This is where we found ourselves every round so far. NL has kind of bullied him to the side.
Right, I don't know what he pressed there at -2, but he got counter hit, and he's in the corner. Big life deficit now. There's the throw. Jeez, and again.
Does it again. I can't. That was what was all going through my head, but he still did it.
Yeah.
And now he's trying to find his way in to get the game started, but another cross cut from NL again. We talked about it. One of the hallmarks of his gameplay this tournament is not letting his opponent get anything for free. You're trying to autopilot. You're trying to sneak a turn in, shut down immediately. And that's another instance of it.
And, you know, it really highlights the difference in levels of players we've got on display here today. There's players here that are clearly good players that don't have the same level of, like, complete focus, awareness, and ability. that guys like NL are displaying, and it really shines through in moments like that where he's just able to just control, and when the opportunity arises, he is executing and making the most of it as well. NL's been in these situations for a long time. We've gone back to character select. I think they both repicked Luke anyway. Yes, they did. Just wanted a stage change. I like this stage.
Me too. I'm a big fan. Gonna be hoping a W gets dropped in his stalking.
All right. No, a rare execution error from NL. Should have spent a few more hours in training mode, right? Here we go. DP. Nice bit of damage. The throw. One more guess for the stun. He still went for the knee.
He did. He was like, bro, go ahead and DP me, fam.
Yeah, I feel like when you've got the life lead and when you're clearly like winning the wider battle, so to speak, if a guy's showing you risky wake-up DPs, there's no reason to be put off by it, especially in like Luke, who doesn't really get like proper Oki off his ear. It's not like Ken, who can wake up EXDP and then put you back in the corner off a V-trigger activation and all that kind of stuff. Damn, straight into the forward fierce, gets crush countered off the wall, guess for the throw. Oh, he guesses wrong.
Indeed, installs real quick. Oh, the big charge on the flash knuckle. Duffing this man. Doesn't put him all the way away. He didn't want to spin meter. Gets the throw afterwards.
And that was a big round back. A great answer from Gamer B. Arresting some of that momentum that NL was laying down. Like, looking to run away with it. But that is a big statement from Gamer B.
Most definitely. He needs to stem the bleeding a little bit, right? This is very close to NL getting a 2-0 lead right now.
Nice hit confirm on the EX flash knuckle late off that crouching medium kick. Fighting his way out. Poking with that medium kick and gets a conversion of his own. The back throw back towards the corner, and it's all turned around now. Plus frames. He's able to convert off the jab. One more guess for the round. It's the activation. More plus frames. Oh, he catches him. Trying to do something after the medium kick. The late cancel into that V-trigger. And he takes the round. It all came off of that interruption, though, out of the corner. Managing to fight out with that crouching medium kick. NL refusing to be cowed and bullied in that corner there.
And I'm really impressed with his aggression in the corner once he was on offense again. Like when he did the throw right before, the throw that set up kind of the in-game scenario, I'm so surprised he ended up doing that. I thought he would have respected the EXDP. But nah, man, he was like, I'm confident in these offensive decisions. I have a lead in the set. And he just really committed to it. And one of the things that committing to those aggressive wake-up options does is that it kind of implants that seed in your opponent's mind to where the EXDP is going to work, right? It makes you believe in it a little bit more. And he'll use that against his opponent. Like when his life's on the line, I'm expecting him to bait out a DP in this next game.
Yeah, he was so good at reading Angry Bird. Oh, no.
True.
Bad cancel.
Gamer beat right up in the neutral once again. Very contested around this crouch medium kick range, and NL the one that finds the hit. Gamer B no confirm on his crouch medium kick though. These are the slight things that are gonna make a difference between the W's and L's between these two players.
Yeah, not just damage and stun, it's Oki as well. Yeah, he's looking for him to walk into that medium kick for an activation. So if you walk in it meaty as well, he still gets stand fierce, which is ridiculous.
Oh, that makes sense, actually. I didn't realize that.
Yeah.
If it hits towards the later bit of it. Yeah, no, just cancels into that. Again, you've seen him cancel the V-trigger off of a couple of normals that you otherwise can't. Trying to catch Gamer V, take his turn a little bit early.
Gamer B really wants to activate on hit. Needs to be careful he doesn't whiff that forward fierce. Oh, no!
Oh, no!
There we go.
And we're back.
They threw NL off as well as he eats that jump in.
Yeah, like the first time we've seen him successfully jumped in on. Oh no!
Guys.
Oh, right back into the super.
How can you bring me back to this?
And now finds the CA, puts him on a magic pixel. There's 5 seconds on the clock.
He can't do anything.
Oh, it's going to be a draw though?
What happens?
Draw, right? Yeah.
It's a timeout draw.
Well, players coming down to a pixel. We don't know what's happening. Ooh, okay, cut off at the pass.
Even the
Trying to get our
production's
bearings
getting too
back
hype
here.
at this matchup.
Buns in excitement. Oh, confirms this time from Gamer B. Very nice. This is what we need. Has bullied NL into this corner. And NL, he's been fighting out slowly but surely. We haven't seen a lot of bust outs for the EXDPs or anything like that. Oh, trying to inch his way forward. Gamer B finally putting a stop to it.
Nice, gets the conversion this time. There's the DP, and he's going to be throw for game. Yo! Okay.
So we talked about he hadn't been doing any bust outs. He'd been trying to work his way on his side of the corner with his life on the line. Tries it, and Gamer be well aware. So there was a baited out DP in the end in that game, but it was reversed. It was Gamer B baiting out NL. I believe we're going to go back into it indeed. Keep it Christmassy. Here we go, all about that fireball, about that crouch medium kick range. I want to see if either of these players start trying to commit to anything. Oh, nice longer range.
Roundhouse, looking for the start up of a sandblaster. Wasn't there. Nice whiff punish though. NL with the corner pressure. Gamer B trying to fight his way out.
And now harassing with stand medium kicks as well. A little bit of longer range button, just no reward off of it. Yeah. Good punish.
Can't be throwing those target combos out without thinking. Confirm again.
Oh, and there's the bait. Finally finds it. Yeah. Gamer B tried to commit here. Better this round than the next round, at least. Yeah, I was going to say, I want to see these players try those longer range buttons. Go ahead.
That was definitely one of those situations where, like, NL had a huge life lead, and Gamer B was like, I think you're going to go in anyway because you've got the life lead. And NL was like, I think you think that I think I'm going to go in anyway, but I know I'm not going to.
I like that from Gamer B. He finds the crush counter forward fierce. Oh!
Yeah, he's ready for the shackle.
Can't have that for free. Reaction's too good.
Especially against a Luke player, they know.
Yeah, right. Something he was already looking for, and reacting to something that you're looking for is significantly easier than reacting to something that you're not.
It is a very different game. That is a nice reaction, though, on that roundhouse. Last hit, no. Text the throw.
Text for his life. I can't believe it. And now Gamer B dancing in and out of this range here. Still has some V-trigger left. Doesn't want to let NL activate, of course. Whoa. Oh, gets the sweep.
Oh, my God.
He did it again anyway.
But
Are
this
you
man
serious?
DP'd. This man DP'd at set point down.
You're kidding me. Look at this. She's disgusted. She's like, why are you wake up DPing again?
Yeah, I guess he had no health. He had to pressure.
But yeah, I mean, the cojones on Gamer B.
But that is a big balls bet.
Yeah.
All in. Literally all in.
Put him on the table. Now in the corner again, we've seen this happen so many times. I know just bullies Gamer B here, but he's successfully fought out multiple rounds. Oh, gets the jab, but too far away for the target combo follow-up.
I love when that target combo just doesn't connect. Yeah. It's very fair. It feels very fair.
Oh, no. Oh, wow. I mean, he didn't get the charge, so he just reacted to try to throw. Yeah, now we got activation.
Micro walking. Gotta watch those ankles.
We saw Gamer B get a crush counter with that forward fierce last time. Ooh, instead this time he's committing to the fireball, and he has such an easy follow-up with V-trigger activate.
V skills up again, so he's got a flash knuckle when he needs it as well.
Oh, true. Oh, not much of a whiff punish right there, but he'll take it. Waking up with the CA. Trying to get the long distance wake up option in NL.
Bro.
With his life on the line twice has woken up with these wild options. No. I really think because NL like doesn't usually bust out with anything invincible throughout the rounds, he's betting on these like round ending, game ending scenarios working out for him.
Do you know what?
Gamer B is just ready though.
I did a study on his set against Problem X. at Red Bull Kumite in Vegas, and he literally only would reversal in those instances. Only. He'd take all of the bison pressure all day long, and the only time those reversals were coming out were end of round or stun situation.
So consistent habit. Gamer B may have picked up on it himself, and right now he is riding that 2-game momentum here. He's looking like reminiscent of the Shan set. He's bringing himself back, really rallying this momentum, has a huge lead in this round.
Again, NL just walks into that jab.
Yeah.
And set point Gamer B. I think Gamer B's defended like 3 or 4 set points so far. First one for him.
We'll see how NL responds now back against the wall here.
And this will be a huge turnaround for Gamer B if he's able to do this.
3-0 on the comeback, and I mean, he's looking good again, and he gets the throw bait here. Really starting to catch on at NL. He saw the breath he let out right there. He feels the pressure.
Again, and NL's just trying to overextend. The forward movement is getting checked. Firstly, it was walking into the jab, then it was walking into the back roundhouse. There's a whiff punish, though. Not sure what happened there. Might have been an input error.
Yeah, that's a huge opportunity for NL, honestly, and one that Gamer B did not mean to give him. Wow, again, though, these crouch jabs. Not letting him get close.
Oh, no!
Did you try to put an exclamation point on it? Maybe just read a fireball? I don't know what that was.
What was that? Shades of Daigo versus Gamer B at DreamHack when he just walked up and DP'd him 3 times in a row.
Trying to channel that energy.
Oh my God, what's he done again?
The overhead getting whiff punish here. I mean, he's got CA. Next hit is dead. Gamer B got to raw activate himself.
This is a terrible situation because...
Well, he needs to build to
Gamer B can afford to DP. Yeah?
Yeah, but Gamer B, he can chip him out now.
He can.
And NL, he doesn't want to let him get close because of that. Oh, he's still got a little bit of V-trigger of his own. Oh my goodness, it's so intense. 15 seconds on the clock, both
15
players.
seconds, and NL, it's got him killed multiple times, but he's have to get in, and again, he tries, he overextends, and look at Gamer B. He had to work hard for that. He had to work hard for that. And that's the thing. NL, in these instances, playing where he's on the back foot, he's overextending. When he's comfortable, he's been looking unstoppable. When he's been put under pressure, when he's on the back foot, when he has to force things to happen, it's not worked out for him.
No, most definitely not. And he's found himself pressured back against the wall, no safety net to go, and he really bets it on a lot of EX reversals. And as you mentioned, I think it's because a lot of the time he doesn't do it in any other instance, right? So he's like betting on his opponent being like, okay, he's going to stay consistent with his wake-up habits, and he tries to like switch it up. He tries to catch them off guard, but it's kind of been built into its own habit now. And then when you are on the verge of stun or on the verge of death, a lot of players do end up looking for that wake up option, right? They know the pressure is on and that you don't want to end up having to guess between strike or throw. So they're trying to make you guess. And right there, Gamer B just ready and willing to punish him.
Absolutely. What an incredible set to end today's action. You know, loads of highlights to watch here, but let's take a look at some of them. It started out so well for NL. He seemed to have a real strong read on Gamer B in the first game. Very comfortable, just menacingly encroaching in the space. Even though Gamer B opened up with that first round, it seemed to be very, very quickly adjusted from NL. And he was so good and so adept at using that crouching medium kick to push him towards the corner.
Yeah, and Gamer B was the first one I saw to also start utilizing like the forward fears and the stand medium push a little bit more, because they were really kind of hyper focused on that crouch medium kick range. So that was a good adjustment we saw him make as well later on. In the set.
And I mean, I was just going to say there was a lot of number of instances where he like whiffed it because he was throwing it out preemptively, and it literally just happened there in front of us. Yeah. But in the end, he started to preemptively throw things out or just look for NL to overextend. Now you're going to see this was a big answer back from Gamer B after losing the first round in his second game. But it was, I think, was this when? Oh, okay, we didn't see the end of the second game, but this, I'm not sure. He started making really strange decisions, and you see he had a big life deficit there. When NL was in disadvantageous positions, right? life deficit, situational deficit, meter deficit. He would make high risk, mediocre reward guesses. Trying to dash in on a guy that, and he's not really giving him a reason to be afraid of the dash, to look out for other things. That wake up CA wouldn't have killed. I mean, it's one thing doing it in a situation where it's going to get the kill. It's a different one entirely when the guy's got like 55% health left and you don't even get the greatest Oki after your CA. It's not like Cammy, for example, or Ken in the corner. Or Birdie, the best Oki after CA. And he started just dashing in, walking in, trying to steal frames, trying to just overextend. And GamerB at no point really like buckled under that pressure. He was very, very adept at just maintaining the calm, cycling through his offensive options, but being very patient and able to react to pretty much everything NL was throwing at him offensively.
Yeah, and a thing that I need to go back and kind of watch the set again to really be sure on is I don't remember a lot of jump-ins from GamerB. So I feel a little confused about why why NL kind of never tried to establish the fireball game a little bit more when he had those ideas to dash, right? Because that's really when you can start getting away with dash with Luke, is like when you harass with the fireball, when you use the forward fierce, the stand medium punch, doing all those things in that range that make sure the opponent has to worry about them, that you can't just sit there and dash check, because if you try to react to the motion, then you're getting hit by the fireball, you're getting hit by something else. I felt like he didn't establish any of those games heavily enough for when he started getting wild with the dashes and being hyper aggressive.
I think so, man. But obviously NL will move down into the losers bracket. He's still in it. There's still a lot of room for a run for NL, but it's going to be GamerB versus Mena in the winners final. Let's take a look at the brackets if we can. Perfect time in production. Thank you so much. It's been so much better today. We've been enjoying ourselves. Much more stable feed as well of the game. So thank you so much to the production team. We've been working so hard overnight to improve everything for us so we can enjoy these games in high fidelity for you guys at home. Mena RD, GamerB in the winners finals. Mena moving past Punk, who tried a number of characters against his Luke. We're going to have a Luke mirror in winners finals. We've had 3 Lukes already in winners semis. But Mena's got an abundance of characters, and he might go for a counter pick. He might, he's certainly not afraid of playing the mirror match. A lot of players, I think you said this yesterday, they avoid the mirror match. They're averse to going. Some people find it random, actually, rather than like a test of who's the best at the character. They find it very random. But Mena, I've seen, he doesn't really get scared off. But he does have a lot of characters that he can go through if he so chooses to pick someone else. He's going to go up against GamerB, and I'm pretty sure we know exactly what we're going to see from GamerB. It's been mostly Luke, but I guess Lucia did come out against Seth. So GamerB's still got a couple of surprises in his pocket if need be, right?
Absolutely. I'm interested to see what GamerB pulls out as well. And I mean, he has been the MVP of this tournament for me so far. He was down 2-1 up against Xian and brought it back. He was down 2-0 up against GamerB and against NL and brought it back. Just been showing that he has the mental fortitude of a champion. And it's been awesome seeing him in prime form and just roaring back from these deficits that he's found himself in. So he'll be in winners finals tomorrow, of course, but we still got losers bracket action to go as well. So let's take a look at that.
Yeah, we got 6 players left in the tournament still.
Oh, yeah, you're right. Absolutely. We still got plenty of players to go, right? And it's going to start off with, we can talk about this all day tomorrow. Punk versus Mr. Crimson. And then on the other side, NL versus Angry Bird. 2 phenomenal sets.
Yeah, 6 truly world-class players from across the world, across different continents here, fighting it out. North America, Europe, the Middle East, Asia, all here, all represented. And it's going to be an incredible day of action tomorrow. Please make sure to join us right back here on Twitch and YouTube as well, simulcasting, bringing you all the action live from the Boulevard development in Riyadh City as part of Gamers 8 Festival. the 8-week gaming festival that's happening out there. Thanks so much to the Global Esports Federation, of course, for putting this together. It is the Global Esports Tour 2022 here in Riyadh City. It's been a pleasure bringing you the broadcast today. Myself, Logan Ringe. We'll be back tomorrow, same time, mate. I'll see you there.
Oh, yes, most definitely. We're going to be here with 6 of the best fighting game players in the world in offline international competition for $50,000. So much is on the line here. Going into Evo soon as well. Thank you all for joining us this week. Logan, get us out of here, fam.
We will see you same time tomorrow around about 3 o'clock GMT. Look that up wherever you are. It is going to be the final 6 players tomorrow. $50,000 in prize money here at the Global Esports Tour. We'll see you here for that action as it culminates on Sunday. Thanks for joining us. We'll see you next time around.